Coming off a winning road trip, the Cubs took care of business last night in the usual come-from-behind fashion. Tonight, Ryan Dempster looks for win number 8 as the Cubs go for their 10th straight win at home. Here come the Cubs. Take cover. Well, the Cubs continue to surge at home, having rattled off 9 straight in the friendly confines, and that's where we are tonight for Cubs baseball here on Comcast Sportsnet. It's the middle game of this 3-game series against the Atlanta Braves, and let's check in on the updated Central standings. The Cubs are playing well. The Cardinals continue to play good baseball. They have an early lead at Cincinnati, although they're going to be without Albert Pujols for at least the next 3 weeks with a calf injury. And welcome to Cubs baseball tonight here on Comcast Sportsnet. Along with Bob Brenly, I'm Len Casper. The Cubs love hitting in this ballpark, in particular Mark DeRosa. But the thing about it is, Mark's hitting on the road too now.
Yeah, he's really picked it up. After a couple of shaky road trips early in the season, Mark DeRosa is hitting the ball everywhere since June 2nd. .391 batting average, 3 home runs, 6 RBI. That's a great thing about the Cubs offensive lineup. If one guy doesn't get you, another one will.
More injuries for the Atlanta Braves. Their scheduled starter tonight, Jair Jurgens, an ankle injury after the ballgame last night, so he's not going to start. But they do get Chipper Jones back in the lineup. And Bob, let's take a look at the Menards big lumber stats.
Boy, children, turn your eyes away. This guy is having an unbelievable season in 59 ball games, hitting .420. He's got 92 hits on the season. 30 of his 59 games have been multi-hit ball games.
We mentioned the Jurgens injury. He has an ankle injury, so it'll be Jeff Bennett going for the Braves. Ryan Dempster's perfect, 7-0 at home.
Well, and that's why we like Demps on the mound tonight. Bennett has been pitching mostly out of the bullpen. He does have 3 starts on the season.
So coming up, Ryan Dempster tries for a little more success, not only at home, but against the Braves. He's just 1-10 in his career versus the Atlanta Braves. He hopes to change that up tonight.
So far ahead, its dual-panel moonroof brings light to everyone. It sees traffic in real time and controls your music seamlessly with your iPod. So far ahead, the rest of the world will have to catch up. Introducing the future of the crossover, here, now. The all-new 2009 Nissan Murano. With an IIHS top safety pick and a government 5-star rating for side impact crash safety.
So, you're a green person, but which shade? Confusing, isn't it? Well, True Value's Color Made Simple can help. With exclusive tools, trained professionals, and expert advice, finding your color will always be simple. Now let's talk purple. True Value's Color Made Simple.
Meeting the challenge since 1940.
If it's got a motor. That's our slogan here at Clinton Motor Works, and what's it mean? Well, we have one of the area's best selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, vans, SUVs. Oh yeah, and the cruising coolers. How great is that? A 13-mile-an-hour cooler to ride. Just another reason to stop in and see what's going on. Now let's talk warranty. We have the area's only lifetime engine warranty on most all the vehicles we sell. That's right, your engine blows, you get it fixed for free. That's why people do business with us. For your next great sales and finance experience, we'll see you soon at Clinton Motor Works.
If it's got a motor.
One day. You can give one memorable day to our World War II veterans for the years they served to protect our way of life. Honor Flight Chicago is now flying Chicago area veterans to Washington, D.C. to visit and reflect on the war memorial erected in their honor. These flights are funded solely by donations. To help, call this number or visit honorflightchicago.org. Give these heroes one day and the experience of a lifetime.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by Chevy. Log on now to ChevyDriveChicago.com. Check us out today, ChevyDriveChicago.com. Midas, for brakes, oil changes, tires, and more. Trust the Midas touch. Your Chicago area Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Menards. At Menards, you'll find big lumber yards, big selection, and big savings. At Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, we want to give you the security to experience wellness everywhere. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Cadillac, Life, Liberty, and the Pursuit. And by Southwest Airlines. With Southwest Airlines, you're now free to be more productive. Visit southwest.com today.
Welcome back to Wrigley Field. It was pretty hot this afternoon, but all of a sudden it cooled off. The wind has pretty much died down. Should be a nice night for Cubs baseball. The Cubs are 27-8 here at home. They have won their last 9 at Wrigley Field. What a great atmosphere it always is inside this ballpark, but in particular last night, Lou Piniella talked about the Cubs' success here at home, and it seems to just be steamrolling.
Success breeds more confidence. The fans have a lot to do with it. This place here pretty electric, and we've been able to swing the bats much better at home, score more runs, and we've had success. Let's hope it continues.
That's Lou Piniella. I'll tell you, Bob, if you didn't give a date and just showed up to the ballpark last night, you'd have said, well, this is a playoff game. That's how it felt.
Oh, it really does. I mean, we talk about Cub fans all along, how they anticipate the action rather than react to what they see on the field. And last night they were on their feet multiple occasions in the middle of the ball game. Really was a playoff-like atmosphere.
Let's chew on some Cubs numbers here at home. This is their best start at home, 27-8, since they started playing at Wrigley Field back in 1916. The last time the Cubs started a season this well through 35 games, they played at the West Side Grounds. That was back in 1907. They were batting over 300, scoring a ton of runs. I mean, they're basically outscoring their opponents. If you look at the ERA versus runs per game for the Cubs, by 3. That'll get it done. And Ryan Dempster will try to get it done tonight. He is 7-0. He has the most home wins in the major leagues coming in. And let's check in on the Atlanta Braves lineup he will face tonight, brought to you by Southwest. Yunel Escobar starts it at short. Kelly Johnson at second. Chipper Jones back in there. That is not a misprint. He is hitting .420 on the season. Teixeira, McCann, Francoeur in the middle. Norton hit a 3-run homer in the first last night. Gregor Blanco went 0 for 4. Jeff Bennett, the emergency start for the injured Jair Jurgens.
And let's take a look at the Cubs defensively, brought to you by Rico. Alfonso Soriano, Jim Edmonds, and Kosuke Fukudome across the outfield tonight. Ramirez, Terrio, DeRosa, Lee across the infield. Giovanni Soto behind the plate today for Ryan Dempster. As you said earlier, he's had his struggles against the Braves in his career. You see his numbers on the season, outstanding in every aspect, but against the Braves, only 1 in 10 lifetime with a couple of saves and an ERA over 5.5. Of course, this is a much different Ryan Dempster this year than the Braves have seen in the past.
Now the umpires tonight, presented by Kia. Ted Barrett will call the balls and strikes. Dana DeMute, the crew chiefs, at first. Lance Barksdale at second, and Doug Eddings, who was behind the plate last night, will work third. The Braves have now dropped 4 in a row. The Cubs still have the best overall record in the majors, and they have now won, let's see, 12 of their last 15 overall. Not to mention the 9 straight here at home. So Escobar will dig in against Dempster. Braves made a bunch of roster moves, including putting Tom Glavine on the DL for the second time this year. In the air, deep to right. Kosuke is going to get over there, right at the corner of the grass. He makes a catch. Second time in his career he has been on the DL, and Bob, as we alluded to last night, prior to going on the DL, now this is the first time he's ever gone on the DL due to an arm injury.
I believe it was a hamstring that put him on the disabled list earlier this season. The thing about Tom Glavine is it's hard to tell if he's hurt or not, because velocity has never been his thing. It's been location, moving the ball in and out, up and down, changing speeds, and in that respect he didn't look any different last night than he normally does, but obviously he had some problems.
I guess it had been bothering him for some time, but he never did disclose that fact until last night. 1-1 the count on Kelly Johnson, the second baseman. Foul. Couple of plate appearances for Johnson against Ryan Dempster. Nothing for nothing, but he's walked twice, and he's had good numbers in his career against the Cubs.
Not a lot of at bats for this Braves lineup against Ryan Dempster historically. Good pitch right there for a called strike 3. Chipper Jones with 35 career at bats against Dempster, by far and away the most at bats. In second place is Mark Kotze with 7. So a lot of these Braves hitters are not familiar with Ryan Dempster. You can see that tumbling action on that splitter. Takes it for a called strike 3.
Here's Chipper Jones, battling that quad injury. Probably won't run very well tonight. Don't know how much range he'll display at third base. We were talking before the game about whether or not the Cubs will try to make him move around out there on defense.
Well, you'd like to think that at some point early in the ball game, perhaps Ryan Theriot, maybe Kosuke Fukudome, maybe drop a bunt down that third baseline just to see how he is moving. That's part of your job in those advance reports, is to know what injuries the opposing team has and how it's likely to affect the ball game. And you've got a third baseman with a sore quad muscle. For me, he's got to prove he can move and come in and field that bunt.
And that also is not a typo, believe it or not. He's only hit .201 in this ballpark. Just off the inside corner, and it's now 3-1. Chipper's hitting .600 over his last 5 games. A roller and a base hit. And the other thing is, while he's not running well now, it's not like he's a burner when he's completely healthy. He's not going to get a lot of infield hits, so they're legitimate base hits.
He's got to earn every one of them. I'd be surprised if the Cubs even hold him on at first base. With Mark Teixeira, a left-handed pull hitter at the plate, and just judging from the way Chipper went down that first baseline, he is not even going to think about moving up to second base until somebody makes him move up. And Derek Lee now has swung around and will play behind him down there at first base.
There's a strike on Teixeira. Hitless last night, his first career game in this park. At open stance, he's a switch hitter just like Jones. He was acquired from Texas last year, now playing big league ball in the city where he played collegiately at Georgia Tech. He was born in Annapolis, Maryland. One and two. I guess he can relate, Bob. He hit .409 in 3 seasons at Georgia Tech, but he had an aluminum bat. Chipper has the wooden bat. A little bit more difficult to do it over the course of a full season at this level. Nobody's done it since 1941. Ted Williams hit .406.
I just came up a little bit short in 1984. I was only 115 points off the pace.
You just missed it.
Just missed it.
If you had gone 85 for 85 to finish the season, you might have got that.
If I'd have gone 85 for 40, I might have done it, but doesn't work that way.
Well, it bears repeating. I mean, a lot of baseball fans know the story. Ted Williams went 6 for 8 in a doubleheader on the final day of the season. He went into the last day at .3996, which would not have been considered a 400 season. Now that's clutch.
Oh yeah,
6 for 8.
that's as clutch as it gets right there.
3-2 with Jones running, a swing and a foul tip, strikeout number 2 for Dempster, and a good first inning. Gave up the hit to Jones, but no runs. The Cubs are coming up against right-hander Jeff Bennett.
The Men's Warehouse summer sale is going on now. Save on a big selection of suits and sport coats, dress shirts, shoes, and sportswear.
Men's Warehouse. You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it.
The Chicago Cubs strongly encourage the use of public transportation. The CTA offers a variety of options, including the Red Line, which stops right at Wrigley Field at the Edison station. If you must drive, try the remote parking operation at DeVry University, located near the Edison and Rockwell intersection. The remote lot offers parking and an express bus for just $6. For more details, call the CTA hotline at 773-836-7000 or visit Cubs.com.
Toyota moving forward is more than just a slogan, it's the way it is. Hello, I'm Bruce Dickstein of David Bruce Toyota. Toyota's having a remarkable year. The reason? Toyota builds superior vehicles. Vehicles like this.
Lease a new 09 Toyota Corolla LE for $179 per month for 36 months or buy for only $16,899.
David Bruce Toyota delivers a buying experience and an atmosphere based on trust and respect that keeps our customers coming back.
Hey, boss. This is Bradshaw's phone. He's not answering because he doesn't have AT&T, which means no bars here in Hong Kong. So even though you'd like to tell him the client's name is pronounced Pang Yu Tao, international hotshot here is about to call one of your best customers, Mr. Stinky Fish Face. Jai Jing, best customer.
For the best coverage, switch to AT&T. More bars in more places.
The Men's Warehouse summer sale is going on now. Save on a big selection of suits and sport coats, dress shirts, shoes, and sportswear.
Men's Warehouse. You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it.
Braves got a hit from Chipper Jones. They did not score. Now the Cubs Southwest starting lineup. Alfonso Soriano's hitting 7 straight. Ryan Theriot bats second. Derek Lee with a home run last night. Ramirez, Fukudome, Soto got the curtain call, his first. Jim Edmonds is in center. Mark DeRosa is at second. Ryan Dempster will hit 9th. And right-hander Jeff Bennett is ready to work. Strange injury. Jair Jurgens, who was supposed to get the start tonight, after the ball game last night, there's some stairs from the visitors clubhouse that go down to the concourse level, and he suffered an ankle injury on those stairs, and he's out tonight. Soriano bounces out to Chipper Jones.
Take a look at the rest of the Braves defensively. Greg Norton out in left field again tonight. Gregor Blanco in center. Jeff Francoeur with a cannon arm out in right field. Chipper Jones back in the lineup at third base. Yunel Escobar at shortstop. Kelly Johnson at second. Mark Teixeira over at first base. Brian McCann, the fine hitting catcher for the Braves, will be behind the plate for right-hander Jeff Bennett. 30 appearances on the season. This will be his 4th start. Most pitches he's thrown in an outing this year, I believe, is 85. If I read the list correctly, there's 30 ball games listed here that he's pitched in, but that came in one of his starts earlier this season against the Dodgers when he went 4 2/3 through 85 pitches in that game. Longest outing, 6 innings against the Florida Marlins, also a start.
Caught the outside corner on a fastball, 0-2. Ontario sporting a .400 on base percentage. He has done a terrific job at the top of the order. He has settled into that number 2 spot. Long look by Bennett, and now Theriot asks for time and gets it from the home plate umpire Ted Barrett. Lying right behind Jones on the singles list. Topper at the plate, it's foul.
Well, Lennon, we know throughout the early part of this season, one of the Cubs' strengths offensively was their ability to see a lot of pitches per at bat, take their walks, force that opposing pitcher to throw a lot of pitches early in the ball game, which is definitely the prescription against Bennett tonight. Try to run up that pitch count as early as possible. I mentioned he threw 85 pitches, but that was way back in April.
Lazy ground ball right at Kelly Johnson. 2 down. A big home run for Derek Lee at Wrigley Field. His 14th home run of the season. Some really good swings last night.
He was getting to some of those inside fastballs that he's been tied up with over the last couple of weeks. See what he's done since May 1st. It's been a little bit of a struggle, but much like I said in the open about Mark DeRosa, when a guy like Derek Lee falls on some hard times, he's got guys behind him and in front of him in that lineup to pick up the slack this year.
And the home run led off the 3rd inning and tied the ball game. Reed Johnson gave the Cubs a lead with an RBI single, and they would not trail again. Well, and Derek's value goes well beyond his offense. Not only the leadership, but the Gold Glove caliber defense at first base. I hope everybody's all right. That was a screamer hit by Lee into the stands. 0-2, just missed the inside corner.
Oh, that was very similar, that last fastball right there to Derek Lee, to the one he hit out of the ballpark last night.
Two and two. Sun is out as we near dusk.
Kind of an overcast afternoon after some early sunshine. The clouds kind of covered up. It was very comfortable here towards the end of batting practice, and now the sun peeking out once again before it disappears completely for the day.
And there's ball 4. Get the game conditions. 70 beautiful degrees. Humidity not a concern. Seemed a lot more humid earlier. And the wind is out of the east. Overcast, but again the sun making a late appearance. Aramis 1 point below 300. On base at 416. This is his 6th career start for Jeff Bennett. The other 88 appearances he's made in his career have been as a reliever. A bouncer through the hole on the left side. So a 2-out walk and then a single, and it brings up Kosuke. He'll face Bennett for the first time.
Sinking fastball on the inside part of the plate. Ramirez catches it out in front of home plate, finds that hole on the left side. I mean, we've pretty much seen everything Bennett throws up to this point. He throws a little tailing, sinking fastball in the high 80s. Occasionally will touch the low 90s. Has a straight change up, and his go-to pitch by far is that slider. He'll throw it in all counts to any hitter. He'll throw it on both sides of the plate. I mentioned fastball, slider, change up. The slider is definitely the go-to pitch, especially when he's ahead in the count. And I talked about it earlier. Try to run up the pitch count on this guy. It's been a long time since he's had to work deep into a ball game, and anytime you can get into that middle relief for an opponent, you've got a real good chance to win a ball game.
The Braves added a pitcher to their bullpen, left-hander Jeff Ridgway. They got the call up from AAA Richmond. You take Bennett out of their pen, and their closer Rafael Soriano has kind of been a day-to-day proposition with an elbow problem. Well, the other guy they really miss is Peter Moylan. scalded. Oh, man. And I'll tell you, Bob, we tell people to pay attention as much as they can, but sometimes you can be paying attention and you just don't have time. So we encourage fans out there to always be at the ready. Try to bring your glove if you can. Ball and 2 strikes on Fukudome. First and second with 2 outs. There's a deep drive by Kosuke. Frank Coor's going to watch that one, and it will go! That's a 3-run homer. All of this with 2 outs in the inning. A walk, a single, and a 3-run homer by Kosuke. 4 of his 5 home runs have come here at Wrigley Field.
Well, it seems like we've talked about it all season long, but the ability to work at bats, take pitches, as you see Kosuke with our Belvedere home run replay, caught a breaking ball on the inside part of the plate and absolutely blasted it to right center field. Taking the pitches, working the count. I mean, Jeff Bennett probably thought he was out of this inning. 2 quick outs, nobody on base. Derek Lee drew the base on balls to set the stage for Kosuke's 3-run homer.
Well, 1 swing of the bat at 3 runs. That pitch is inside. 1-2 the count on Soto.
Remember, in the ball game last night, after Ted Lilly gave up the Greg Norton 3-run homer in the first inning, he threw the next pitch over the head of Brian McCann and there were immediately warnings issued to both benches, so something to keep an eye on.
Called strike 3 to end the inning. Big 2-out walk to Lee. Ramirez kept the inning alive with a single, and Kosuke knew it. 3-run blast, and the Cubs have the early advantage.
There are more than 3,100 points to scrutinize. 3,100 digitally calibrated, laser inspected welds, fittings, connections, and finishes on the RX to make sure it's absolutely flawless. Visit your Lexus dealer today for an exclusive look at how nothing else is built like a Lexus RX. Lease the 2009 RX all-wheel drive for $459 a month for 36 months for $35.59 due at signing.
Stark, I hear you have an unusual problem. You should talk.
Maybe if I can control it, I can use it.
The Incredible Hulk.
The subway's probably quickest.
Me in a metal tube with hundreds of people in the most aggressive city in the world.
Right. Let's get a cab.
Rated PG-13 starts Friday.
Surprise Dad on Father's Day with a Clark tool chest from Menards. They are heavy-duty tool storage systems. The HD Plus series features ball-bearing drawers for extra durability. All Clark tool chests are on sale for 10% off. Another great gift is the Black & Decker 14.4-volt lithium-ion cordless drill. It holds a charge for up to 18 months, only $59.99 after rebate. Plus, there are 0 payments and no interest till 2009 with your Menards Big Card.
Save big money at Menards.
When breaking news happens, Comcast Sportsnet is there first.
Today I introduced Vinny Del Negro as the head coach of the Chicago Bulls.
I'm just thrilled to be a Chicago Bull with a first-class organization, with an organization that has had so much success, and the professionalism involved here is second to none.
I think our players, when they see his personality and he brings this energy and enthusiasm to our team, I think it's the right thing to do right now.
On opening day, the Cubs unveiled the Ernie Banks statue outside of Wrigley Field. You now have a limited opportunity to purchase an exact replica of the larger-than-life bronze statue of Mr. Cub. For more information on how to purchase your own replica statue, visit Cubs.com. Brian McCann leads off the Braves second. Kosuke with a 3-run homer in the first. Not that you would want to necessarily create a part-time situation for Brian McCann or Giovanni Soto, but if you put these two guys in a lefty-righty platoon, probably the best hitting catching platoon in baseball history.
I know a lot of managers that would take that platoon behind the dish, both solid defensive catchers as well. Boy, and they figure to be near the top of that all-star balloting every year for the foreseeable future.
High deep drive to right. Fukudome's over, and I think it's foul. It's a foul ball. He did not make the catch. And right up against the padding, and basically the chalk line, Bob, hugs the wall when you get down that deep near the foul line. Good effort.
I think the ball perhaps was even touched by a fan before we saw it come into the screen right there. Clearly a foul ball, but Kosuke does a nice job. I'll tell you, in limited playing time here at Wrigley Field, he has a pretty good feel for how far he can go and when he needs to break down his strides and get prepared to protect himself.
3 strikeouts for Dempster.
He seems to have a real good splitter going in the early innings here tonight. That's another one. You can see that tumbling action on the baseball. Everything about the delivery tells the hitter it should be a fastball, and then it gets into the hitting zone and just disappears.
Francoeur was late on a fastball. Nice catch upstairs. That's a way to do it.
Yeah, my hero. Way to go, Dad.
0-2. The Cardinals continue to battle adversity as Albert Pujols is going to miss at least 3 weeks. He has a strained left calf. Suffered the injury last night. That has not slowed down the Cardinals. They lead 6-0 after 5 in Cincinnati. This will be a 1 bouncer to DeRosa, who backed up a little bit. 2 outs. Braden Looper has pitched well tonight for the Cardinals. Jason LaRue with a home run. Rick Ankiel with a home run as well. Both of those homers came in the first inning. Ryan Ludwig with an RBI double a little later. Greg Norton's batting 7th in Bobby Cox's lineup tonight. He hit 5th last night and hit a 3-run homer in the first. Bounce back to Dempster. Nice grab. And he throws to first. So the Braves go 1-2-3 in the second. Dempster will hit 3rd, coming back on offense.
Need a lift?
Yeah.
Hop in.
Chevy Silverado offers 315 horsepower and the best V8 fuel economy of any full-size pickup. Better than Toyota, better than Ford.
You too. Get in.
Just announced, qualified buyers get 0% APR financing for 60 months on any 08 Chevy Silverado half-ton crew cab. Chevy Silverado. This is our truck. See your local Chevy dealer or go to ChevyDealer.com.
Ever since there were cars, Americans have had a love affair with the open road. And with quality gasoline and pay-at-the-pump convenience coast to coast, Valero is your perfect travel companion. Valero, the all-American gasoline for the all-American love affair.
I have written my story upon these pages. I've been a cup, I've been a plate. I have worn smooth the handles of hammers and shovels. I've wrestled with barbed wire. I have never turned the pages of a Swedish furniture catalog. I'm always dirty, but my conscience is always clean.
You're out here for a reason. So are we. Tractor Supply Company. The stuff you need out here.
You know, I'm not trying to micromanage your finances, but I will tell you that my E-Trade savings account earns 6 times the national average. So, you know, it's funny. You know, I mean, the boys are talking about what to do with all this extra coin. I was like, I'm renting a clown. And I did. A Bobo here. And I really underestimated the creepiness.
Earn 6 times the national average with max rate savings. There are 1,000 new accounts a day at E-Trade.
Cubs baseball is brought to you in part by Kia Motors. Kia, the power to surprise. Rico, move your ideas forward with Rico dependability. And by Nissan and your Nissan dealer.
Jim Edmonds hitting .400 over his last 9 contests, and he looks at a strike on a fastball from Jeff Bennett. Edmonds has been getting progressively better at the plate since he became a Cub. Nice two-handed pick by Matt Sinatra, the first base coach, and a nice play by Ryan Dempster.
Yeah, because he's in good fielding position when he releases the ball. He's facing home plate, ready to react to what he sees. He's able to go up the ladder and make a nice catch. So many pitchers you see nowadays fall off the mound one way or the other. They occasionally have their back turned to home plate when contact is made, but by facing up to home plate, Dempster in a position to help himself out there defensively.
Called strike 3. Edmonds thought that ball was off the plate. Ted Barrett did not. I'll tell you, in the first 2 games of this series, Bob, the pitchers have been getting the corners from the home plate umpire.
Even a little bit more than the corner on occasions.
I hate to be a worrywart, but I saw Ryan Dempster wasn't really watching where he was walking, and he wasn't near all the paraphernalia in the on-deck circle, but I worry about a starting pitcher walking into that area without watching his feet. That's hit hard, and Johnson can't get it. A little short hop play, so DeRosa will end up with a single. You've got donuts and bats, weighted bats, pine tar rags, all kinds of stuff. And after the Jair Jurgen's ankle injury last night, he was just going downstairs. He wasn't walking around all that stuff.
Yeah, those on-deck circles are minefields if you're not paying attention. Very easy to step on something and twist an ankle.
Dempster pulled the bat back and looked at a strike. Looking for his 10th sacrifice on the season. He has a double in each of his last 2 starts.
Boy, that last little bit of late movement that Bennett has on that tailing, sinking fastball caused Ryan to bunt right over the top of that pitch. Normally that sinker is a pitch you look for when you're up to the plate to put down a sac bunt. It's hard not to bunt the top half of the baseball when the pitcher has that kind of downward movement, but that time Demps came up empty.
Jones ready to charge. A little bit outside. 1-2.
I mentioned trying to bunt on Chipper to see how he moves in this ball game. However, this would not be the situation to do it. You like to bunt it to first base if possible.
Excellent work by Dempster. Goes 1-4, and he now has 10 sacrifices on the season. Can't say enough about how much better he has looked overall at the plate as each start has gone by. Just looks a lot more comfortable.
And it's not an accident, Len. We see him out here every day taking his batting practice with the starting pitchers. They work on their bunting. They work on making contact, put the ball in play, and then they have a little fun at the end of BP and try to hit some home runs. But Ryan obviously takes it very seriously. He knows how important it is for a starting pitcher to be able to get that bunt down.
Inside corner strike against Soriano. Give Cubs special assistant Ivan De Jesus a lot of credit. He works with all the pitchers. And they're bunting and they're hitting. Big swing. And Soriano hit it foul. In case you're wondering, Lou was asked today, would you consider using Carlos Zambrano as a designated hitter? And he said, no. No. Cubs have a lot of good options. Probably see Michael Hoffpower come back from AAA Iowa for the start of interleague play in the American League parks Friday night in Toronto. Oh, Soriano got hit up and in. Left hand to wrist area. You hope it hit muscle and not bone, but it didn't sound good. And he is down. Oh. Mark O'Neill out very quickly.
Checking that left hand or wrist area. Soriano starts from that drastically closed stance, but he really opened up that time, and as that pitch continued to tail further up and in, he turned right into it. Boy, when I saw his helmet fly off, I was afraid it might have hit him up in the face somewhere. We've seen this happen on a couple of occasions this year when the trainers do come out to check a player. It looked like it caught him on the back of the hand and then deflected up near the face area. Just behind the right ear, knocking his helmet off. Certainly the most damage done to the back of the left hand. And Mark O'Neill will come out and do a variety of different tests to see if they can determine exactly where the point of contact was and how bad it is, and apparently it's bad enough to take Soriano out of this ball game.
So we'll get a pinch runner for Soriano. Thinking probably Reed Johnson will just stay in and play left.
Well, you certainly hope that's just a day-to-day thing. Soriano has really looked good over his last 3 or 4 ball games. Immediately went to that left hand. As I said, there was some concern that maybe that ball caught him up in the face area somewhere. Mike Fontenot is going to be the pinch runner. I would assume that means DeRosa is going to move to left field, and Fontenot will stay in and play second base. Just another way for Lou to get a left-handed bat in the lineup with the right-handed starting pitcher for the Braves.
And that's where that versatility really comes in handy when you talk about Mark DeRosa. You're exactly right, Bob. You get another left-handed bat in there. So here's Ryan Theriot. Again, it didn't seem to be any sort of intent on the part of Jeff Bennett. Didn't see the home plate umpire Ted Barrett issue any warnings of any kind. There was a warning, as you said last night, as Lilly aired one over the head of Brian McCann. That one shot toward the gap. Blanco's over. He's not going to get there in time. DeRosa's in. Fontenot's going to be sent. Relay throw will be made. It's late. Theriot with a 2-run double. And it's 5-0.
We've seen Ryan Theriot do this a couple times lately. Normally his swing is an inside-out approach to try to drive the ball to right field. Lately, he's been looking for pitches to turn on. That time perfectly splits the gap in left center field. The pinch runner, Mike Fontenot, barely had time to get loose before scoring all the way from first base on that double. I started to say earlier, Len, about Soriano has been running so well lately. No sign of a limp. He's attempted some stolen bases. It's obviously he's feeling really comfortable with those leg injuries that he suffered through over the last year and a half, and boy, you'd hate to see him miss too much time right now.
No question about it. So we'll get you an update on Alfonso. I imagine no matter what, just for precautionary reasons, the Cubs would do an X-ray on that left hand. And we know something will pass it along.
You're always concerned when a guy takes a hit by pitch or a thrown ball and takes it awkwardly in the hand. So many small bones in there, so many things that can go wrong. You just hope it was a glancing blow and the damage will be limited to a bad bruise.
Well, on Saturday in Los Angeles, Derek Lee had a scary collision at first base with Juan Pierre. It was reminiscent of the Rafael Furcal play. Same spot in 2006. Derek broke his wrist. Fortunately, this time he was able to brace himself and avoided an injury, and also avoided hurting his teammate or former teammate Juan Pierre. Kick and the 2-2 is bounced to Jones, who comes in. Throws out Lee. The Cubs add to their lead. They get 2 on the double from Ryan Theriot. Unfortunately, they lost Soriano for the rest of the night after he was hit by a pitch. 5-0.
Imagine yourself in the best-selling car in America, the 31-mile-per-gallon rated Toyota Camry. It's a great way to keep moving forward.
Friday, Cubs baseball plays on Comcast Sportsnet Plus as Alfonso Soriano, the Cubs, head north of the border to take on Scott Rowland and the Toronto Blue Jays in HD. Coverage starts with Lexus Cubs pregame live. Cubs Blue Jays in HD Friday at 5:30 on Comcast Sportsnet Plus. Fans' best friend. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago.
When you need your vehicle repaired, look no further than River City Pipe Benders. Why? Other than auto body, River City Pipe Benders can repair anything and everything, from oil changes to transmission and engine overhauls. River City Pipe Benders is one of the only places that repairs everything. The same technician will always repair your vehicle and will know your vehicle. No one is on commission. River City Pipe Benders tells it like it is. Trust Clinton's own full-service repair facility. Trust River City Pipe Benders.
Super liquidation sale this weekend. iWireless Center, Alpine, Kicker, JL Audio, Fosgate, Pioneer, Sony, more this weekend. 80% off. 1000-watt amps, $59. 1000-watt 12-inch subs, $29. Tweeters, $5. 800-watt 6x9s, $19. Car CD players, $25. Portable GPS, $95. Radar detectors, $39. Portable DVD players, $39. Video MP4s, $29. Only happens this weekend. The iWireless Center. Friday 3 to 9, Saturday 10 to 9, Sunday noon to 6.
Time for our Coors Light freeze cam. In the ball game last night with 2 outs and nobody on in the 4th inning, Omar Infante making a bid for extra bases, and Reed Johnson with a tremendous running, leaping catch on the warning track in left center robs him of extra bases.
8-9-1 for the Braves. Cubs 5, Braves nothing. As we talked about, DeRosa going from second to left, and Fontenot in at second. 1-1 the count. I forgot to mention this last night. The Cubs are leading the National League in ERA. We talked so much about the offense, especially here at home. High in the air down the right field line. Similar looking play to the one we saw earlier, but this one gives Kosuke enough room to make the catch. Well, the Cubs at 369 lead the way. The Braves are in third in earned run average at 3.74. So when you lead the league in ERA and runs scored, chances are you're going to have a good record, and the Cubs have the best record in the majors.
Yeah, coming into play last night, the Cubs and the Braves were 1-2 in batting average in the National League. They were 1-2 in ERA. The Diamondbacks have wedged their way in between the Cubs and the Braves going into play tonight.
You saw the National League average, the entire league ERA. The Cubs are a half run better. 2-0 on the pitcher Bennett. You see the wind right now, kind of a crosswind from right to left.
And then we were down in Lou's office this afternoon, and talking about what a labor it's been to piece together that bullpen without overusing Marmol, Howery, and Wood at the end of the ball game. But there have been so many close games, and normally throughout the course of a regular season, you're going to have a blowout every 10 days to 2 weeks, sometimes more often if you're on a bad ball club, where you can pitch those guys in the middle, where you can give Marmol, Howery, and Wood a complete day off. Don't even get them up, don't warm them up. But because the Cubs have played so many close games and have shown a remarkable ability to come back when behind, Lou's really had to piece it together and has done a great job of it up to this point.
Called third.
If you're behind 10-0 in the first inning, you can run everybody in the bullpen out there and get them some work. But when the games are close and you got a chance to win, you got to pitch the guys that give you a chance to win.
Hey, Cub fans, Cubs games are now on Comcast Sportsnet on demand. Comcast customers go to digital channel $9.99. Then look for Comcast Sportsnet and watch Cubs games on demand. Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. Cubs games on demand, not available in all areas. Here's Escobar, the shortstop. 2 outs, nobody on. Only hit for the Braves from Chipper Jones. Make it 2 hits for Atlanta. And Kerry Wood warmed up twice last night before John Lieber was able to get the game-ending double play ball. And as we said last night, it doesn't go down in Larry Rothschild's book as an appearance for Kerry Wood, but Larry does keep track of how many times guys do get loose. It was nice to be able to save him last night.
And most ball clubs have a loosely worded rule that after the 3rd time you warm up a pitcher, you either bring him in the game or sit him down for the rest of the night. You don't ask him to warm up for a 4th time. And as I said, sometimes the circumstances will dictate you have to stray from that rule a little bit, but probably a good idea if you can stick to that.
Just getting the update from Peter Chase, Director of Media Relations. Alfonso Soriano is on his way to the hospital for x-rays on his left hand. He was hit by a pitch in the bottom of the 2nd inning.
And talking about relief pitchers and warming up and whether you bring them into the game or not, that's where the experience in the bullpen really comes into play. A guy like Scott Air and Bob Howery, who have spent their whole career pitching out of the bullpen, they understand that sometimes the game circumstances change while you're warming up. So they'll throttle back a little bit, maybe just play some catch, maybe even just stand on the mound and watch the action. They get close enough that they know once they get their 8 warm-up pitches on the game mound, they'll be ready to go.
Rainbow to left. DeRosa out there for Soriano, and he has it, and that's the inning. Been a good start for the Cubs. Aside from the Soriano injury, they lead 5-0 to the bottom of the 3rd.
McDonald's iced coffee comes in 3 delicious flavors: regular, vanilla, and hazelnut. Try one today.
Who could that be? Oh, wow. I'm there for you, buddy. That was Brad. He really wants to vent.
We should go.
Ready to vent? Let's vent. Let's vent.
Let's vent. Introducing the vented wide mouth can from Coors Light. It lets in air for a smooth, refreshing pour.
Is he okay?
I think we'll be venting a little longer.
For us, brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
At Infinity, we believe acceleration should feel less like a quick burst of speed and more like a limitless force of nature. The 306 horsepower G from Infinity. Lease an Infinity G sedan for $349 a month for 24 months.
How do you want to see the game? You want to be closer? Well, this is no ordinary ticket. This is your ticket to baseball heaven in high definition. Sharp Aqua's the official HD TV of Major League Baseball. And with a blazing 4-millisecond response time and a super fast refresh rate, there isn't a shot in the hole or a screamer down the line that will singe the hair in your nostrils. It will change your baseball-loving life.
Aqua's LCD TV. Change your TV, change your life. Sharp.
Feel the joy with McDonald's and Coca-Cola. And right now, grab a large sweet tea, Coke, or other soft drink for just $1. Cool.
Come to Wrigley Field tomorrow, June 12th at 1:20 and step back to 1948. Watch your Cubs take on the Boston Braves and enjoy discounted prices on Pepsi soft drinks and Kelly Eisenberg Smoky Links during the first hour of the ballgame. Don't miss this historic day presented by Pepsi. Tickets are available on Cubs.com by calling 1-800-THE-CUBS or at the Wrigley Field box office.
Neither one of us will be here tomorrow since we weren't born in 1948. I was a lot closer than you were, but
no, there will be two guys who kind of look like us in 1948 outfits. You think the sideburns will be okay?
Sure. You were a trendsetter back in 48. Okay.
Big numbers for Aramis against the Braves. Cubs with 3 in the first, 2 in the second. Came back up and hit him.
It's been a rough night. Seen a couple of fans get hit with foul balls. Alfonso Soriano hit with a pitch, and now Aramis fouls one that comes right up and catches him on the right ear.
Hit foul.
You know, Len, we were talking earlier about Chipper Jones and his pursuit of a 400 season, the first since Ted Williams did it. And I remember several years ago when Tony Gwynn was hitting in the high 300s, maybe close to 400 near the All-Star break. And of course, the discussion already started, you know, is he going to be able to do it for an entire season? And I remember some baseball experts as Ramirez grounds one to second. That'll get by Johnson into right field. Probably an error on the Braves second baseman. But anyway, they were saying that the Ted Williams season wasn't the greatest offensive season for a player in the major leagues because, and this guy's argument was, Ernie Lombardi, who was the most valuable player back in 1938, hit .342 that year. He was a catcher, and they say he may have been the slowest human being on the face of the earth. And he hit .342. He had to earn every one of those base hits, and this gentleman was making the argument that given the physical circumstances, the position he played, and his slow-footedness, Ernie Lombardi had the best offensive year ever.
You can make a good case for that. By the way, they did give Ramirez a hit. So he's 2 out of 2.
Well, Merry Christmas, Aramis. Christmas in June. We love it.
It's the 6th time in this series he's gotten on base. The biggest thing for Chipper might not even be being able to hit 400. It might be the media crush. I mean, that's the thing, is the pressure that will build. And that's when you talk about Joe DiMaggio's 56-game hitting streak. I just don't know if the external pressure that you would have to deal with on a daily basis that you could sleep at night.
Really, when guys do things like that, usually you're better served having a press conference the first game of a series, answer all those questions about the pursuit of a 400 batting average as another Cub hitter is chased off the plate by an inside fastball. Just deal with it the first game of the series and then don't answer any more questions the rest of the series.
Kosuke with a 3-run homer. His first at bat.
So another important factor will be, how does Mark Teixeira hit the rest of the way? Because if you've got a guy hitting behind you in the lineup who's struggling, he's not going to get very much good to hit. Good check right there by Kosuke. I'm still waiting on that opposite field home run. I know he's got one in him. I thought he was going to hit it in Houston.
Runner goes on the 3-2, and the pitch missed. And Roger McDowell, the Braves pitching coach, will head out. Hey, Bob, we want to congratulate the Chicago Wolves of the American Hockey League. They won the Calder Cup last night. Celebrate a championship.
Roger McDowell, the pitching coach for the Atlanta Braves. What a year he had back in 1986. Pitched 75 games of relief for the New York Mets that year and won 14 ball games. Went 14-9 with an ERA of just over 3. You talk about what does it take to have a successful season, and certainly you need a lot of things to go well, but you need somebody out of that bullpen to be the vulture, the guy to come in when you're trailing early in a ball game, stop the bleeding, give your offense a chance to get back in the game. And the reason they call him a vulture, they come in and swoop down and pick up a victory out of the jaws of defeat.
159 career saves over a 12-year major league career. Was Phil Stockman up in the Braves pen, smacked into center. That's a base hit. Mike Quaddy puts on the stop sign, so Ramirez holds there, and they are full with no outs. Bases loaded.
And Mike Quaddy waited as long as he could. He wanted to see what happened out there in center field. You can see once Blanco gets to the ball out there in good shape, handles it cleanly, only then did he throw up the stop sign and hold Ramirez at third. Boy, and all you ask as a third base coach is that your runners go hard until you tell them to stop.
And no sense in taking any chances with no outs. And also with the way this offense is humming right now, you don't want to run into an out ever. Infield in against Jim Edmonds. Kick and the pitch. Base hit center field. Ramirez coming in. Kosuke will also score. Edmonds with a 2-run single, 7-0.
That's why you hold the runner at third base with nobody out. Everybody swinging the bats well here tonight. Have a real good read on Jeff Bennett. Blanco's going to make the throw to home, but Kosuke scores easily. And that's going to do it for Jeff Bennett.
He lasted just 2+ innings. And the emergency start, Heineken called to the pen. Phil Stockman coming in. 7-0 Cubs.
Tired of being nickeled and dimed by other airlines?
Is this your first flight?
On Southwest Airlines, we don't charge fees for stuff that should be free. Southwest, fees don't fly with us.
You are now free to move about the country.
What your engine feels, you feel. And when it's running clean, you feel it. That's why Pennzoil Motor Oil is specially formulated to continuously help prevent dirt and deposits from forming. No leading conventional oil helps keep engines cleaner. So change with Pennzoil and feel the clean. Not just oil, Pennzoil. And now a 5-quart jug is only $10 for a limited time at Walmart.
Arby's $5 Roundup. Choose from your Arby's favorites like 2 popcorn chicken shakers or 3 beef and cheddars or 4 regular roast beefs for only $5. It's a great deal that'll have you saying, I'm thinking Arby's.
Want to get real-time video highlights of your favorite team sent straight to your phone? Text Cubs Alerts to MLB Go. That's 65246 on your AT&T wireless phone and sign up for video alerts. So say goodbye to Jeff Bennett for the night. Say hello to Phil Stockman.
6'8", 251 pounds.
He was born in the UK. Born in Oldham, Lancashire. He was signed out of Australia in 1997 by the Arizona Diamondbacks. And he pitched for Australia in the Olympics in 2004. They won the silver medal that year. 1 strike on DeRosa. Cubs are putting up crooked numbers every inning. 3 in the first, 2 in the second, 2 more already in the third. No outs, runners at first and second. And it's fouled away by DeRosa. 0-2.
Oldham, Lancashire, isn't that a Beatles? Isn't that in a
that would have been a Day in the Life, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The last song on Sgt. Pepper. I read the news today. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Was it Blackburn, Lancashire, maybe?
Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Yeah.
Same
close.
Ground ball to the shortstop Escobar. They get 1. They get 2. Goes 6-4-3. It's been so much fun here at home. If the Cubs win this one tonight, they'll go to 28-8 at home.
Boy, and there's not an empty seat in the place tonight. And this is the way it's been just about every game here at Wrigley Field this summer.
I know, and I guess it's the media's job to ask. No matter what happens tonight and tomorrow, let's say the Cubs sweep the series, win 2 out of 3, whatever. Going into that game in Toronto, who's going to be asked, how do you carry the momentum from the home to the road? I mean, he's been asked it every time the Cubs have gone on a road trip. And it's not that head scratching. They have been great here. They've been average, actually probably a little above average, even though they're under 500 on the road. Just about everybody in baseball is under 500 on the road. So you really have to compare it to that, not necessarily just their home record. I mean, you look at the Braves, they're 25-11 at home. They're 7-22 on the road. Cubs 14-16 mark looks pretty good compared to that. They wouldn't be in first place if they had a 7-22 road record. Swing and a miss.
There are only 3 teams in the major leagues have a better than 500 record on the road. The Los Angeles Angels, by far the best road record, 21-12. Philadelphia Phillies are 18-14 on the road, and the St. Louis Cardinals 18-14 on the road. Everybody else is sub 500.
That's ball 4 to the pitcher, Dempster.
Big Phil Stockman has a lot of moving parts out there on the mound, and just so far hasn't found an easy release point that he can repeat pitch after pitch after pitch. He's jerked a couple pitches way out of the strike zone. Well, you would think with that 6'8" frame, if he could get up on top of the ball and get it going on a downhill plane, he would be tough to hit if he's in the strike zone.
First at bat for Fontenot. He came in to pinch run for the injured Alfonso Soriano. I just looked it up. The Cubs have the 11th best road record in all of baseball. That's 11 out of 30. So they are above average in that they're in the top 15. Would you like it to improve? Absolutely. And the Cubs had a good trip. They went 4-3 in Southern California.
How do you take that momentum with you on the road? You just pack it in a duffel bag with the rest of the equipment. If it was only that easy.
I'll take 2 games under 500 on the road and 73-8 at home. That would work.
Take your chances.
Win about 112 games. And McCann heads out to the mound. And then we get into, I hate to do this, when you start to think about the postseason, you try to set up home field advantage. You have a team that could be unbelievable at home and mediocre on the road, and then you get to the World Series and it could be determined by who wins the All-Star game.
You know where I come down on that issue.
I do.
Yes. I mean, you might as well base it on a spring training game between an American League team and a National League team. It's an exhibition.
The 3-0 to Fontenot is a strike, 3-1. I just think with interleague play now, you win 120 games, you should have home field advantage for the next 10 years. Just it should be based on record. And if it's tied, then you figure out a formula like the NFL. You know, you go head to head, however you want to do it. I'll tell you what, the Cubs would love to be in the position where that is an issue, being in the 2008 World Series. Ooh, way up on the thigh area.
I think they don't make ankle guards that go up quite that high. Of course, that was hit or be hit. He started to swing at that pitch and it cut inside further than he was expecting. I think if he didn't make contact, it was going to hit him anyway.
Makes contact here. Ballooned into center. It's Blanco the catch. Jim Edmonds with a 2-run single, and the lead is now 7.
Here we can see that the structure of price variance is going to shift unilaterally according to daily expenditures and profit margins. And here on slide 88 of 250, we have a contribution.
That's why Southwest Airlines has 15 daily one-stop and connecting flights from Chicago Midway to Dallas Love Field, so you can always catch a later flight. And you can count on us to get you there with our convenient flights and on-time service.
You're now free to be more productive.
So, what are we doing?
In my place, pizza and a video.
No way.
Original.
How about Chili's? Welcome to Chili's.
Pepper in some triple thick bacon with Chili's new Smokehouse Bacon Burgers. They're mammoth-sized burgers with the thickest bacon you've ever seen, like our Southern Smokehouse Burger. The bacon seasoned with brown sugar and chili pepper, then grilled. Come in now and try them all. Only at Chili's. Pepper in some bacon. Pepper in some fun.
rocking performance, exceptional control. Destination tires with Unity technology, only from Firestone.
Hi there, Mark and Pat along the way. Coming up on Land Rover Sports Night, John Paxson introduces the Bulls' new head coach, Vinny Del Negro.
Plus, Brian Urlacher and the Bears have some positive talks in regards to number 54's contract situation.
Baseball fans and Comcast subscribers, Cubs and Sox games are now available on Comcast Sportsnet On Demand. Don't miss a second of your favorite team's games. Comcast cable subscribers just go to Digital Channel 999 and watch Cubs and Sox games on demand.
Excellent work by the Menards grounds crew between innings. All Cubs early on, 7-0.
Well, that grounds crew has been busy today. The Cubs had a little fantasy camp out on the field early before batting practice today. They prepped the field for the fantasy camp. They prepped it after the fantasy camp for regular BP. Of course, they fixed it after batting practice to start the ball game, and now dragging the infield here between innings. Been a long day for those guys. They do a great job.
They have a world-class field now to work with. Renovated in the offseason. Chipper's now hitting .423. That'll go down as Derek steps on first. Time for tonight's Aflac trivia question. What is the Cubs' record for consecutive home wins at Wrigley Field? This 27-8 start is the best home start to a season since the Cubs began playing their games here in 1916. They were 27-8 back in 1907, but their home games were played at the West Side grounds. That year would feature the first of back-to-back World Series championships for the Cubs. The only 2 championships in club history.
I'm sorry, but every time I hear West Side grounds, I think of a coffee shop.
Yeah, that would be a good name. Outside 1 and 2. Teixeira. Cubs are 5-4 versus the National League East. They're 18-5 against the West. They're going to miss that division. They won't play a team from the West until the end of this month when they go to San Francisco. How about the Diamondbacks, Bob? All of a sudden, they're just 5 games over 500. And as Teixeira strikes out, look, for a while there like they might just run away from the West and have the best record in baseball. It's a long season, isn't it?
Oh, it really is. There's going to be so many peaks and valleys for every ball club. Even the best teams in the league are going to have stretches where they lose 10 out of 15 or 15 out of 20. And even the worst teams in the league are going to have stretches where they win 10 out of 12. It's just the nature of the beast. In the Diamondbacks case, they've just stopped hitting. Their left fielder Eric Burns is due to come off the disabled list soon. I don't think it's just a coincidence that they started to struggle offensively when he went on the DL. A lot of the pressure fell on some of those younger hitters, and they just haven't come through the way Bob Melvin was hoping.
1-1 to McCann. That hit him. Okay.
Boy, after the knee-jerk warning issued in the ball game last night, this could rapidly turn into target practice here. There have been a couple of hitters thrown at, a couple of hitters hit already in this ball game, and still no warnings issued. Right in the ribs.
McCann just went to first base. What you like to see. Fontenot, he'll make the flip to his former college teammate Terrio covering second base. Through 4 for Dempster, 2 singles, a hit batter, and no runs. 7-0.
When a major hospital wanted to add on to their benefits package at no direct cost to the company, their very first word was... Aflac, Aflac. Find out more at forbusiness.com.
Experience a Cubs game at historic Wrigley Field. Individual tickets are available for upcoming games. Get your tickets now by calling 1-800-THE-CUBS, visiting the Wrigley Field box office, or by logging on to Cubs.com. See you at beautiful Wrigley Field.
Toyota moving forward is more than just a slogan, it's the way it is. Hello, I'm Bruce Dickstein of David Bruce Toyota. Toyota's having a remarkable year. The reason? Toyota builds superior vehicles. Vehicles like this.
Lease an 09 Toyota Camry LE for $209 per month for 36 months or buy for $20,158.
David Bruce Toyota delivers a buying experience and an atmosphere based on trust and respect that keeps our customers coming back.
I am your idea. Color me. Get me noticed. Make me shout. And stand out. Give me Rico color that always works. I am your idea. Make me brighter. Make me shine. I am your idea. Get me in there. Make it happen. In flying colors. It's you and me, and here we go. With Rico.
Let me get $10 on pump 3.
All right.
Make that $7 on 3. Oh. Make it $2 on 3. Wait a minute.
And 64 cents on number 5, please.
The new bigger double cheeseburger, just $1.59. AM, PM, too much good stuff.
Let's answer tonight's Aflac trivia question. What is the Cubs' record for consecutive home wins at Wrigley Field? The answer is 18 back in 1935. Pretty good month.
Man, that's a real good month.
They won 21 straight in 1880. That was at Lakefront Park. Ball one on Ontario, bottom of the 4th. Ryan with a 2-run double in the 2nd. Average up a point to 322 tonight. Came in 7th in the league in batting average. And only about 100 points behind Chipper Jones. Pretty amazing.
Well, that's hard to put into perspective because we know Ryan's had just an unbelievable year swinging the bat, and to think that Chipper's hitting 100 points higher, that's hard to compute.
Ontario hustling, but Escobar actually took his time. That should be a hit. Ball got out of the glove of Teixeira, but Ontario's safe either way. Escobar just took too much time. I thought that was as routine as it gets, but not with the way Ontario runs.
Well, it should have been a routine play. He waits, lets the ball come to him, pops it in his glove a couple times, takes an extra crow hop. And I agree with you, Ontario was going to beat that anyway. Indeed, it has been ruled an infield hit. That's why you run them all out.
Well, that is a great angle.
And that's how you keep your batting average over 300 over the course of a season. You got to get a couple of those infield hits, some bunt hits from time to time.
And again, it underscores how impressive Chipper Jones' season has been. He does not have the wheels Ryan Theriot possesses. Ball and a strike on Lee. .68 Stockton coming back. 1-2. We want to wish our good friend Rick Sutcliffe the very best. He has colon cancer surgery scheduled for Monday. He has already undergone treatments. He's back here at Wrigley Field working tonight along with Dave O'Brien. Sut looks great, feels great. And we'll be thinking about him next week as Derek takes a called third on a breaking ball. And Ted Barrett right in Derek's face.
That's a pitch that's rarely called a strike in the big leagues. That's a high breaking ball. Keep in mind, it's when the pitch crosses home plate, not when McCann catches it. He caught that pitch a good 5 or 6 inches above the belt. When that crossed home plate, that ball was up above the letters. That's when the ball is crossing home plate right there.
That's a little above the belt and probably should be a strike. But how often is it called?
Well, if it was called a strike all the time, Derek wouldn't have looked back. That's right. My point.
Yes.
That pitch is rarely ever called a strike. A high breaking ball.
Watch this, right?
I'm not sure if that was confrontational or just so he could better hear what Derek was saying. Yeah, Ted Barrett's not usually a confrontational umpire. Very similar pitch that time to Ramirez. That one a little bit too high.
Can we mark it down? You gave the umpire the benefit of the doubt.
Well, I
do think you're right, though. It looked maybe worse than it was.
I know Ted Barrett personally. I think he's a good guy, and I think for the most part he's a good umpire, and I pick on these guys an awful lot over the course of the season because I know sometimes how important one pitch call can be in the outcome of a ball game. You swing that count from the hitter's favor into the pitcher's favor or vice versa, can really change an at-bat, which in turn could change an inning, which in turn could change a ball game.
It could be 25-1. Guys don't like giving up at bats, whether you're on the upper end or the bottom end of a score like that. Ramirez strikes out swinging.
Stockman starting to find a little better release point here in this inning. And he's done it by going to that breaking pitch. Not only the high strike that was called on Derek Lee, the swinging strike that time by Ramirez, and the 1-0 get me over slider that he threw to Derek Lee to get back even in the count.
He has scored twice tonight, knocked himself in the first inning. He had a 3-run homer that got the scoring started for the Cubs tonight. When he scores, the Cubs are 25-6. Off the plate inside, 2-0. .383 at Wrigley Field. It gets past McCann. It'll send Terrio to second base.
I was going to say it's going to be called a wild pitch. I was going to say the ball didn't hit in the dirt. Usually it's a pass ball when the ball doesn't hit in the dirt, but that time Stockman missed from one side of the plate to the other. Well, he's actually got much better command of that breaking ball right now than he does his fastball.
That was a heater. It's in there, 3-1. Kosuke's former team, Chinichi. Ended a 53-year drought by winning the Japan Series title last year. Maybe he'll be the Cubs' good luck charm here in 2008. He pulled that ball out of the ballpark. Out to the corner of Sheffield and Addison. This one was fair.
Yeah, no problem keeping that one fair. A breaking ball from Jeff Bennett with a couple of teammates on base. Way out of here to right center field.
Three-two pitch, just missed. Second straight walk for Kosuke. And it brings up Giovanni Soto. Gio hit a 3-run homer, adding some insurance in the 8th inning in game 1. I asked him about the curtain call he received. He said it's the first time in his life he's received a curtain call. He was not expecting it. What a great moment.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this was a big home run at the time. It may not have seemed like it as the Cubs cruised to a victory, but it really gave Lou the opportunity to sit down, Kerry Wood, go to John Lieber. Everybody could breathe a little bit easier. My first curtain call.
I was going to ask how many you got and what it was for.
It was on the road, actually. Bakersfield, California. I was the beer batter. At minor league games, they select a player from the opposing team, and if you strike out, beer is half price for the rest of the inning. And I struck out a couple of times, and the fans gave me a standing ovation every time I came out of the dugout.
Oh, that's a great story. The beer batter.
The beer batter. Just selected at random, somebody in the starting lineup, and
you played along.
Well, not intentionally, but they appreciated it nonetheless.
Makes me think about beer battered shrimp or something. It was a breaking ball. It was inside. 3-1.
A lot of funny things happen in those minor league games. It's quite an experience. Anybody that lives in a community that supports minor league baseball and has a team, I would highly recommend you go out to some of the games. You'll be hugely entertained.
Foul tip, strike 2, full count. And there's some really nice ballparks all around the country. Head on down to Peoria if you get a chance. Check out Ryan Sandberg and the Peoria Chiefs. They're coming here in July to play a game at Wrigley Field. Runners go on the 3-2 to left in the air. It's Norton over. He's going to lay out. He caught it. What a catch by Greg Norton. That took away 2 RBIs from Giovanni Soto. 7-0 Cubs.
They come to Applebee's on family night and game night and girls' night out. Especially now, because for a limited time only, we're bringing back Applebee's 3-course classic starting at $9.99. Choose 3 full courses, entree, appetizer, and dessert. 3-course classic starting at just $9.99. Not Tuesdays or Fridays, but every day at Applebee's. It's a whole new neighborhood.
2008. It's not just another year, it's a Danley's year. That's because Danley's Garage World is celebrating 50 years in business, during which Danley's has built over 150,000 custom garages across Chicagoland.
We're really pleased, and I don't have to endure any more winters and cleaning off the car.
Danley's is taking $1,050 off all new garages and including a storage solution starter kit, a $600 value. Danley's Garage World. It's not just a garage, it's a Danley's.
If you need to tow it, Quad City Spring has it. Quad City Spring is the area's suspension, spring, truck accessory, and towing experts. From goosenecks and fifth wheels to every kind of hitch imaginable, including Blue Ox base plates and tow bars, strong as an ox. And Quad City Spring installs and services everything they sell. So tow it right. Get your ride to Quad City Spring. Quad City Spring, 34th Street at River Drive in Moline.
Have you seen the selection of trailers at the Trailer Depot in Clinton? The area's best kept secret, and the best prices on trailers are at the Trailer Depot. Buy new, buy used, or rent. Trailer Depot has any trailer you need. We even make repairs, sell parts, and get your vehicle ready to tow. Knowing what you're towing keeps us growing at Trailer Depot. Behind you on the road and ahead of the competition. 7th Avenue South in Clinton.
Playing for Peanuts, Sunday night at 7, only on Comcast Sportsnet. Cubs baseball is brought to you in part by Aflac. Ask about it at work. And by the Toyota Tundra. Visit whytundra.com to find out why the Toyota Tundra is a great way to keep moving forward.
Greg Norton made the great diving catch, retiring Giovanni Soto, and the Cubs did not score in the 4th for the first time tonight. Bottom 3 for the Braves. 2 quick strikes on Norton. All right, we were given a report as Derek Lee will step on first. That's appropriate. From Joe Rios from the Cubs marketing department. Mr. Chicago, we call Joe. And he just told us that Derek Lee hit a foul ball that hit my car.
I hate to laugh, but I park right next to you. I'm glad it got you instead of me.
Joe's the manager of special events, player relations, and entertainment, and I thought apparently deliverer of bad news.
Yeah.
I thought he was kidding, and I have been promised that he wasn't. The damage has been termed not serious.
Not serious.
Hit the roof. Derek involved in that play there. How should I handle this?
Well,
I mean, he didn't do it on purpose. He hit a foul ball.
well, I don't know. Derek's got pretty good bat control, and he knows where you park. He might have done it on purpose.
Okay.
Well, the good thing is it's on the top, so nobody will notice it unless they're over, 6'9" or 6'10".
Right. Like Derek Lee, 6'5", he could probably see it. And my guess is he would laugh. Here's Brandon Jones. Just got called up today. Left-handed batter. And takes a fastball outside. He is hitting for Stockman. And I loved your reaction. I appreciate. I felt the love. Your reaction was, did it hit my car too?
I was afraid of a ricochet, a carom.
Jeff Ridgway is up in the Braves bullpen. Here's the 2-0. And it's a strike. Oh well.
Yeah, oh well.
Big swing that time. Jones with 19 at bats last year. A double, no home runs, 4 RBIs. He hit 158 in limited time. Three and 2. Josh Anderson was optioned to Richmond. Tom Glavine went on the 15-day disabled list. So a lot of moves for the Braves. Called strike 3, and that'll end the inning. So we are now halfway home. All Cubs 7-0.
The Crosstown Classic, June 20th and 21st on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
Stark, I hear you have an unusual problem. You should talk.
Maybe if I can control it, I can use it.
The
Incredible Hulk.
The subway's probably quickest.
Me in a metal tube with hundreds of people in the most aggressive city in the world.
Right. Let's get a cab.
Rated PG-13 starts Friday.
Chicago Tribune Live, presented by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers. Weeknights at 5:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Phillips Norelco Architect, the shaver with a flexible head that pivots and rotates freely. So now you can easily get a close shave, even on the neck.
Inspiration pulled from your life. That's professional grade. That's the Acadia from GMC. With the simplest form of navigation available and a 5-star crash safety rating, Acadia is helping to redefine the category. Welcome to Acadia, the crossover from GMC.
From the Comcast Sportsnet studios, it's a GMC Sports Update.
Hi everyone, Gail Fisher with you. The Bulls introduced Vinny Del Negro as their head coach this afternoon. Del Negro has no previous coaching experience, but says his coaching philosophy is to start with defense. We'll hear from General Manager John Paxson and Del Negro on Sports Night after Cubs postgame live. But now let's get you back to Wrigley with Len and Bob.
Gail, thank you very much. The Cubs lead 7-0, and they look for their 10th straight victory here at home. We hope Alfonso Soriano's okay. He took a pitch off his left hand, getting an x-ray right now. Aside from that, in my car, everything's been good tonight.
Well, we hope Alfonso's okay, and we certainly hope your car's okay as well, although the early reports are not good.
Here's left-hander Jeff Ridgway. A strike on Jim Edmonds, who has a 2-run single. He struck out his first time. Knocked in a pair with a hit in the third. Swing and a miss, 2 strikes. Brandon Jones remains in and plays left. And the numbers for Ridgway at AAA Richmond. Turned Edmonds away, 1-2. Yeah, we're getting reports now from our truck that they actually have some footage. I'm a little nervous to see it.
Ran out of the truck between innings with a handheld and got some shots of the car.
Outside. Oh. Okay.
That was one nasty foul ball.
According to Joe Rios, minor damage. You can barely tell. Called strike 3.
And not a scratch on my car, parked right next to yours. That's just amazing.
Think I could get a ride?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. Here's DeRosa with 1 out.
Well, anybody that's ever followed youth baseball, whether it be high school or little league or any level, you know, where you park around the ballpark on the streets adjoining the fields. Chipper ranging to his left, a little off balance throw just in time to get DeRosa. It's not unusual to get glass, windshield, back windows, side windows broken, dents in the hood or in the top of the car, but I never thought I'd see it right here where we park.
Yep. 2 outs. Here's Dempster, and on a very serious note, we hope the fans who got hit by foul balls early are okay. We saw one fan leave under his own power. Always be ready for foul balls, not only here but every place you go. Major league ballparks, little league parks, high school parks, college, you name it.
Especially on the offside. For example, Ryan Dempster, a right-handed hitter. The people sitting on the first base side in those first few rows should be careful right now. If he swings late, if he checks a swing, he's going to hit it to the right side.
So 1-2-3 fifth for Ridgway. Cubs 7, Braves nothing.
Oh my gosh.
It's incredible.
Looks like they're thinking Arby's new toasted subs. They're big, fresh, and available at the drive-thru. Made with savory meats, smothered with melted cheese, and piled high on toasted ciabatta bread. One bite will have you saying, I'm thinking Arby's. Get your toasted subs at the drive-thru.
I need you. I need you every single day, and I want you. I want you every single way, and it's love. It's love. It's love. It's la 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 la. It's love. It's love. It's love. It's la 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 la. And I want you. I want you every single day, and I need you. I need you every single way, and it's love. It's love. It's love. It's la 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 la. It's love. It's love. It's love. It's la 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 la. It's love. It's love. It's love. It's la 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 la. It's you. La 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 la. It's love. It's love.
Friday, Cubs baseball plays on Comcast Sportsnet Plus as Alfonso Soriano of the Cubs head north of the border to take on Scott Rowland and the Toronto Blue Jays in HD. Coverage starts with Lexus Cubs pregame live. Cubs Blue Jays in HD Friday at 5:30 on Comcast Sportsnet Plus. Fans' best friend.
Thursday on Chicago Tribune Live, it's a midday matchup at Wrigley as the Cubs take on the Braves. We'll break down the game, plus can the Sox continue to extend their lead in the AL Central? We'll have the latest from Detroit, all that and more Thursday at 5:30.
Can you imagine watching the first place Cubs battle the first place White Sox from the front row at Wrigley Field? Don't miss your chance to be up close for this Crosstown Classic. Visit Cubs.com and click on the CBOE front row seats auction. There are more than 50 front row seats up for grabs for each of the 3 Cubs-Sox games on June 20th, 21st, and 22nd. The auction ends Monday, so head to Cubs.com and make sure you're cheering for your first place team from the very front row. It's going to be a fun one coming up. Check swing foul by Yunel Escobar. Well, this car story develops. We're not quite sure Derek Lee actually hit the foul ball. We have been trying to locate a foul ball that he hit. And figure out the trajectory and everything. And so it might not have been Derek. He could bring his name up if he's not involved as Edmonds makes the catch. And Escobar is out, and he'll bring up Kelly Johnson. So there's that. That's actually where it was. Not a big deal. I wouldn't have even noticed.
Well, unfortunately, when it rains, it's going to gather right there in that little indentation and grip on your head while you're driving.
Right down the middle. Ryan Dempster has been in complete command since the first inning. 6 strikeouts, no walks, 2 singles, a hit batter. That's it. The Braves have not even put a runner in scoring position to this point. The Cubs are scoring runs for him. They've played at 7 tonight. They're averaging 6.5 per start. Look at Zambrano and Marquis also getting a lot of runs. Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
You know, and a certain amount of that run support that you get from your offense, I believe, is coincidental, but it seems like the pitchers that work quickly, throw strikes, keep their defense on their toes, avoid the long protracted innings are the guys that get a lot of run support from their offense. Guys aren't standing around back on their heels defensively or chasing balls in the gap or watching walk after walk after walk. Their pitchers get the ball, they throw it over the plate, they keep the game moving, get their offense back in that dugout.
Nice low pitch count here in the 6th. Chipper Jones with 401 career home runs, 43rd on the all-time list. 3rd on the all-time switch hitter list. Mickey Mantle with 536, Eddie Murray 504, Chipper with 401. He has the most home runs to begin a career under one manager. 401 under manager Bobby Cox. And how about this note? Bobby found out Saturday he had been ejected after the final play Friday. Just total consistency from Chipper Jones from both sides. Swing and the miss. More on that ejection story when we come back. Ryan Dempster with 8 strikeouts and no runs. 5.5 in the books, 7-0.
Your love for car has never been more real. Introducing the first ever Pontiac G8 GT, the most powerful car under 30 grand.
Welcome to America. Everything is in the car as we arranged.
You've reached your final destination.
Papa?
Surprise, Dad. This Father's Day, don't just buy stuff, do stuff. Like surprise your family. Get Dad the Sony Ericsson W580 slider from AT&T for
So, you're a green person, but which shade? Confusing, isn't it? Well, True Value's Color Made Simple can help. With exclusive tools, trained professionals, and expert advice, finding your color will always be simple. Now let's talk purple. True Value's Color Made Simple.
Meeting the challenge since 1940.
If it's got a motor. That's our slogan here at Clinton Motor Works, and what's it mean? Well, we have one of the area's best selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, vans, SUVs. Oh yeah, and the cruising coolers. How great is that? A 13-mile-an-hour cooler to ride. Just another reason to stop in and see what's going on. Now let's talk warranty. We have the area's only lifetime engine warranty on most all the vehicles we sell. That's right, your engine blows, you get it fixed for free. That's why people do business with us. For your next great sales and finance experience, we'll see you soon at Clinton Motor Works.
If it's got a motor.
McDonald's Sports Rise every morning only on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Get Chicago sports news nightly on Land Rover's Sports Night coming up tonight after Cubs post-game live. The Bulls introduce their new head coach and a full recap of the Cubs and Sox contests. Mark and Pat will have Land Rover Sports Night tonight after Cubs post-game live only on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. Make sure you join them tonight. Omar Infante is at third base. Fouled away by Fontenot.
Had a nice chat before the ball game with Mike Fontenot's aunt and uncle in town visiting from Lake Charles, Louisiana.
Ontario able to duck out of the way. Another screamer hit into the seats right near the Cubs dugout. Again, we hope everybody is all right. That's that play you were talking about. Left-handed hitter late on a swing. Ridgeway coming back. Another foul. Well, we want to send a prayer out to our good friend Dustin Eggleseder, who won the ultimate 7th inning stretch competition last year. And Dustin's watching tonight, and Dustin, we're pulling for you. He's been through a lot health-wise. We hope to see you back here at Wrigley Field very, very soon.
Absolutely.
Off the plate inside. He did such a wonderful job last year, and also was a surprise guest leading the 7th inning stretch at the Cubs convention. Did a wonderful job.
Equally nerve-wracking at that Cubs convention, standing up on that balcony with all those people filling that ballroom, and he did a great job once again.
The Cardinals shut out Cincinnati tonight 10-0. at Great American Ballpark. Braden Looper with a 3-hit complete game shutout to improve to 8-5. A little hard on one hop, but it's Johnson to flag it down. In case you missed it earlier, only bad news on the field for the Cubs tonight. In the second inning, Alfonso Soriano took a Jeff Bennett pitch off his left hand and then came up and hit him in the side of the face, but it's the hand that's the worry right now, and he headed to the hospital for an x-ray. Fontenot came in to pinch run and would score on the Terrio 2-run double. Ridgway has big league time with Tampa Bay and now with the Braves. He was a 14th round pick of the then Devil Rays back in 1999. Nice pick. He'll run it halfway over and flip the rest of the way to Teixeira.
You want to take your glove and run down in the parking lot?
Here's Derek.
I don't think it was Derek that hit your car earlier.
I think you're right.
I know he hit a couple foul balls to the right side, but I don't recall him pulling one over the roof on the third base side of the field.
Hits that ball hard. Brandon Jones able to chest block it. So he's on with 2 outs.
Hard hit, sinking line drive with a lot of topspin. Derek went down and got that low pitch, sinking all the way off the bat. Actually a pretty nice job by Jones just to be able to keep that ball in front. That looked like extra bases if it skips over his glove, but he was able to chest block it down to the ground and hold Derek to a single.
Way inside on Aramis. Jeff Ridgway had a rough debut last season with Tampa Bay. He appeared in 3 games. He had an ERA of 189, 7 earned runs in a third of an inning. He faced 10 batters and recorded just 1 out. That was an A-Rod pop out. So every out he records is going to shave a lot of runs off his earned run average that began at 189 going into the game tonight. Would you rather have it be infinity or 189?
I think I'd go for infinity.
I agree. There's no number.
A lot of people would see that and think it was just some kind of a typo or something. They wouldn't realize exactly what infinity means under the ERA column, but there's no doubt what 189 means.
Off the end of the bat foul.
And one thing I've noticed in this series, Len, and we've talked about this in past years with the Braves pitching staff of the past, they used to overshift defensively in the outfield more than any team in the major leagues because they knew that the Greg Maddoxes and Tom Glavines and John Smoltz of the world could hit their spots consistently, and so they were able to really cheat depending on how they were going to pitch a hitter. And this year they're playing a lot more straight up all the way around the outfield.
Well, Ridgway with 2 scoreless innings tonight on just 1 hit, but it's 7-0 Cubs to the 7th.
Hi, welcome to Conglomerated Airlines. We have 2 emergency exits on this plane, one in the front of the plane and one in the rear. Sit back, relax, enjoy your 4-hour, 50-minute flight.
On Southwest Airlines, you'll never fly in a small plane. We guarantee every seat on every flight is on a big, comfortable Boeing 737.
You're now free to be more productive.
There are people out there who have power. They can change history. It's up to people like me to stop them.
Welcome to the war.
From the director of The Bourne Identity and Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Only God should have this power.
Jump into action. With Jumper, now available on DVD and Blu-ray High Def.
This is the story of a single piece of wood, separated and taken to different places, where each piece is shaped, honed, and polished, only to be sent back to end the way they began, as one perfectly matched piece. Visit your Lexus dealer today for an exclusive look at how nothing else is built like a Lexus ES. Lease the 2008 ES for $389 a month for 36 months with $34.89 due at signing.
Friday night, don't miss interleague action on Comcast Sportsnet as Lou and the Cubs head north of the border to take on the Blue Jays in Toronto. Coverage starts with Lexus Cubs pregame live. Don't miss the Cubs and the Jays Friday night, pregame time 5:30 on Comcast Sportsnet Plus, fans' best friend. I guess we're calling it the turf trip. Toronto and Tampa Bay.
My knees are aching already.
Teixeira grounds to Fontenot at second, and he's out. Former Bears kicker Kevin Butler will handle our stretch tonight. He's always a lot of fun. Ryan Dempster is trying to improve to 8-0 at home. Already leads the major leagues with 7 home victories. He's looking to become the 7th Cub to start a season with at least 8 straight winning decisions at home. Kerry Wood started the '98 season going 8-0 here at Wrigley Field. He was the last to do it. 7 wins here before June 1st for Dempster, second most at home for any Cub by that date, according to Ed Hardig. Grover Alexander was 9-0 in 1920, so second most. I think I said most. Second most wins at home by June 1st. Grover Alexander 9-0 in 1920 before June 1st. Very impressive.
Well, as far as the ball game goes tonight, Ryan Dempster has had the best split finger we've seen from him all season. He's had games where he's had the real good sinking fastball. Other games he's had real good command of that hard slider, but tonight it's been the split finger that's been his go-to pitch.
It was a good one to make it 3-2 on McCann. DeRosa's in left, still going back. Just onto the warning track for the second out. I want to follow up on the note I started to talk about. Bobby Cox found out Saturday he had been kicked out of the game Friday night after the final play. That was against the Phillies, in which Gregor Blanco was nabbed at the plate in the 10th to end the game. He and both base coaches and outfielder Matt Diaz all officially were ejected, and the Braves got an email the next day and said, yeah, Bobby was tossed. So that's the 139th time he has been ejected. That adds to his all-time unofficial record. 1-1 strike on Francoeur.
Well, of those 139 ejections for Bobby Cox, I'd venture to guess that about 100 of them were arguing balls and strikes early in the game, trying to establish the strike zone for his own pitcher. I think I probably would have got thrown out again the next day. You can't throw me out of a game after it's over. Well, yes, I can, and I can throw you out of this one before it starts.
Driven toward the alley for Francoeur. That's going to go all the way to the wall. And the Braves finally have a runner in scoring position with 2 outs in the 7th. And Corky Miller, a backup catcher, will hit for Ridgway, whose ERA went down from 1.89 to 27 with his 2 scoreless innings tonight. That's his career earned run average. Well, the update on Alfonso Soriano: he has a minimally displaced fracture in his left hand, the 4th metacarpal. So that would be toward the little finger, the pinky finger, that area. And don't know how long he's going to be out. Minimally displaced fracture.
Not sure if that's good news or not.
You do hear about non-displaced fractures. That would have been, if you're going to have a fracture, I guess that would be the best or least damaging one. But again, I'm not a doctor, so that's the diagnosis. It's not good. And as you said, you don't want to be without your leadoff hitter for any time.
Well, especially as I said earlier, because he has really shown signs over the last week that he's feeling good about his legs. He's running again. He's stealing bases again. And certainly that's something that the Cubs were looking forward to when they brought Alfonso Soriano over here. Not only the home run ball, but his ability to steal bases and generate offense when the team is not swinging the bats well. And we were starting to see signs of that over the last week to 10 days. So hopefully it will be a minimum of time out of the lineup.
Well, the way this offense has been working this year, they've gotten contributions from up and down the lineup. We talked about Michael Hoffpower coming back by Friday. Might be back earlier than that. That's deep to left. DeRosa is back on a warning track, and it's gone. Corky Miller with a pinch hit 2-run homer to put the Braves on the board. It's his first home run this season.
That's only his 3rd hit in 33 at bats on the year. Well, fortunately, Ryan Debster's got a little bit of cushion to work with. Our Belvedere home run replay looked like a slider that just stayed in the middle of the plate for Miller. Got it high up into the air, and you mentioned the wind blowing across from right to left tonight appeared to give that one a little bit of a boost.
Well, we could see Michael Hoffpower or somebody else. That would be the first guess. Up here as early as tomorrow. Iowa played earlier today at Memphis and lost 5-2, and the numbers were not good for Rich Hill. He went 4 innings, gave up 3 hits, 4 runs, 3 were earned, but he walked 6. So he's still struggling with his command. He threw 101 pitches in just 4 innings.
Well, I would assume the Cubs handle injuries and potential injuries like most other organizations. I would assume that the minute that ball hit Alfonso Soriano in the hand and he had to come out of the ball game, the phone calls were made, travel plans were made.
Time to stretch and sing.
The ball game is former Chicago Bears kicker Kevin Butler.
All right, fans, let me hear ya. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the ground. strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Hey, hey, let's go, Cubbies! Let's go, Dogs!
What your engine feels, you feel. And when it's running clean, you feel it. That's why Pennzoil Motor Oil is specially formulated to continuously help prevent dirt and deposits from forming. No leading conventional oil helps keep engines cleaner. So change with Pennzoil and feel the clean. Not just oil, Pennzoil. And now a 5-quart jug is only $10 for a limited time at Walmart.
The David Bruce Auto Center sells more new and used cars than anyone in the area. Hello, I'm Bruce Dickstein, and here are some reasons why.
A new 08 Pontiac G6 20th anniversary priced for only $14,988, and a new 08 Pontiac Grand Prix for only $18,775.
Remember, no one in the area sells more or gives you more for your trade.
And if credit has been a problem, see David Bruce for a second chance.
Bottom of the 7th, the Cubs lead the Atlanta Braves 7-2. They won last night, and the final was 10-5. So they have put together a nice offensive series. Alfonso Soriano has a minimally displaced fracture in his left hand. He got hit by a pitch, so we'll wait to hear more after the ball game. Kosuke Fukudome leading off the last of the 7th against new Braves pitcher left-hander Royce Ring. And a breaking ball is in there for a strike. Former Bears kicker Kevin Butler is with us in the booth. Always good to see you, Kevin. Nice job with our stretch tonight.
Well, thank you very much. It's always like that last second field goal. You get a little nervous before you get up there.
Good nerves, though, right? You
Good
like
nerves.
that adrenaline.
Good nerves, and it's truly an honor. I really appreciate the Cubs involving me in this, and they keep inviting me back every year. And it's a highlight of my career, to be honest with you, because you know, you do a lot of things out in the football field, but to be introduced at the first pitch and the people cheer for you and start to bring back some memories, it's an awful great present.
You talk about that adrenaline rush that I'm sure you got as a kicker running out onto the field late in the ball game. What have you found in your retirement that comes close to that? Are you a golfer, or is there something you do?
I'm a golfer, and that it gives me that challenge. I don't know if it still, when I see Mike Dick, I get that adrenaline rushing because I think I did something wrong. So. But the golf definitely keeps that competitive spirit going.
Johnson will throw out Fukudome. First time Kosuke has been retired. Kevin Butler with a ceremonial first pitch tonight.
How about that?
Wells gets a nice hand here at Wrigley Field.
Look at that.
Butthead.
How about that? What a great jersey, too, isn't it?
Yeah, that is classic.
Well, you know, people back home wonder why I would allow people to call me that. And I told them it's an honor to be called Butthead in the city of Chicago. And I truly mean that. I mean, that's an endearing thing. And I know I've been out there a few times before and have been called worse things.
No, you were Butthead before Beavis and Butthead, right?
I really was.
Yeah.
I really was. And I talked to a lawyer about that, but he said, don't go there.
Don't go there, huh?
Ring got the ball, fell down. What a play. He got Soto. What an athletic play by Royce Ring.
Looks like he's got a little limp going there because of that stretch.
The pitcher coming off the backside of that mound, much like we see outfielders running up the mounds down the right and left field line. He kind of lost his balance, but made a heck of a play and able to throw on in time to get Soto at first base.
Now you're doing some sports radio, right?
Well, I am. I've been doing for the past 3 years. I've been doing the post games for the University of Georgia football team. My son Drew signed a scholarship with them last year as a punter, and they got some very high expectations down at the University of Georgia this year as far as college football goes. So really excited about that. And we've got a group here tonight from the University of Georgia up in one of the boxes, a bunch of Cub fans that are University of Georgia grads, so it was good to see them. And it's just a beautiful night to be at the park. Y'all got a great view.
Yeah, the best view in sports.
I got to believe it is.
Bears fan right there, right? Bears and Cubs.
That looks like one of the guys from
Super
Saturday
fan,
Night Live.
yeah.
He's one of the super fans.
So when you think about the 85/86 season, the Super Bowl in '86, what's the first thing that comes to mind? for you?
Just, you know, really about the effect it had on the city. You know, a lot of people ask me about what was the greatest memory of that year, and I really believe it was the day after the Super Bowl when we came back to Chicago. It was some 22 below with the wind chill, and it was close to 1 million people out in the streets. And going down to Daily Plaza, it was just something that on the buses, you know, you were trying to figure out if you won the Super Bowl or you just came back from the moon, because that was really the only kind of welcome receptions that teams and people had gotten before. So very lucky to play with many Hall of Famers, you know, Walter Payton, Dan Hampton, you're talking about Mike Ditka, Mike Singletary. We'll have more off that team, and that's one of the greatest, I think, compliments is just being around great players.
Kevin, always great to see you, and we'll check you out next time we're in Georgia in your talk show, all right?
We look forward to it, guys.
Thanks.
Guys,
Good luck to your son
this
as
year.
well.
See you, Kevin.
McDonald's iced coffee comes in 3 delicious flavors: regular, vanilla, and hazelnut. Try one today.
Want a new TV for free? Who doesn't? Buy any TV, any size, June 2nd through June 15th at Grant's Appliances, Electronics, and more, and it could be free. Pat Hughes here for my good friends at Grant's. Your TV could be free if either the Northsiders or the Southsiders win the baseball championship in October. Digital's coming. Don't wait. Buy now at Grant's. Any Sharp, LG, Samsung, Sony, any TV at Grant's could be free June 2nd through Father's Day. Only at Grant's Appliances, Electronics, and more.
It's game time. Skybox is right up here in section La-di-da. How's everybody doing? Can anybody tell me what inning we're in? All right, boys, we take it back to high life. See, the high life is about sitting in the sun and watching your favorite pitcher get lit up. Take him out. Man, they can't even hear me through this glass. Come on, boys. Need to smell me a hot dog or something. Just know I'm alive. Woo! Let me pass out some high life. That's what I'm talking about.
At Nissan, we started with a stitch. Then we thought 2 would be even better. We thought the seat should appear at the touch of a button, and the folks in the back should have a moonroof too. We thought you should see traffic in real time and control your music seamlessly with your iPod. Then we thought, why not bring it all to you first? Introducing the future of the crossover. Here, now. The all-new 2009 Nissan Murano.
Feel the joy with McDonald's and Coca-Cola.
We're in the 8th inning. Brandon Jones against the starter Ryan Dempster. Working on a 4-hitter. One of the hits was a 2-run homer by Corky Miller. That one sprayed foul. So Alfonso Soriano will absolutely end up on the DL. And he's going to be out several weeks at the very least, with the minimally displaced fracture in his left hand. Now, when Michael Hoffpower got sent down, he's supposed to wait 10 days before he can come back, unless there is an injury. Jones strikes out. That's number 10 for Ryan Dempster. Time now for the game-changing play, brought to you by Sharp Aquas LCD TVs, the official HD TV of Major League Baseball. Ryan Theriot with a 2-run double in the 2nd inning.
It's after the Cubs scored 3 in the first on the Fukudome 3-run homer, and then those 2 runs really set the stage for what we have right now. The Cubs really pounding Jeff Bennett, the starter in this game. Phil Stockman, the reliever that came in after him, was able to put a 0 on the board, but damage had been done.
So Dempster has reached double digits in strikeouts. Beautiful night here at Wrigley. Three 3-0 on Escobar. Well, we'll see how this team responds to losing its leadoff hitter. Outside corner strike. Albert Pujols is going to miss at least 3 weeks with the Cardinals. And they won tonight. Chris Duncan got called up to replace Pujols on the roster and played first base. In the air. Edmonds the catch.
You know, Len, I didn't want to interrupt Kevin Butler because we love having him in the booth. He's one of our favorite guests. But when Royce Ring came into the ballgame for the Braves, how about this for a note? His first 3 appearances of the year, he faced the same batter all 3 times and struck him out all 3 times. Adam LaRoche from the Pittsburgh Pirates. Royce Ring came into the ballgame to face only that one hitter and struck him out each of his first 3 times.
That's pretty remarkable.
That's a left-handed specialist for you right there.
Yeah. Fontenot up with it. Johnson's out. So are the Braves in the 8th inning. Ryan Dempster has been very strong all night long. 7-2.
It's got 403 horsepower. It can tow 8,000 pounds. Seats 7. It's dripping in chrome. Big, bold, beautiful. Forget drive it. If it had a bathroom, I'd live in it.
Visit your local Cadillac dealer for this attractive offer.
Super liquidation sale this weekend. iWireless Center. Dell, HP, Toshiba, Sony. Desktop computers, $79. Laptops, $129. More computer parts and accessories, 80% off. LCD monitors, $69. Bluetooth wireless headsets, $19. Thousands of cell phone accessories, 80% off. Portable DVD players, $39. Home theater systems, $99. Home DVD players, $19. DVD VCR combos, $39. Only happens this weekend. The iWireless Center. Friday 3 to 9, Saturday 10 to 9, Sunday noon to 6.
Looking for a great new job? Airland Transport is currently hiring drivers. If you have a Class A license, this is an outstanding opportunity to work for a locally owned company that offers competitive wages and benefits, paid holidays, and more. Airland Transport is looking for good people like you to continue providing quality transportation service. Do you want to be home daily? Tired of where you're currently working? Give Airland a call today at 800-224-2899 or visit us in East Moline.
From the Comcast Sportsnet studios, it's a Cadillac Sports Update.
Hi everyone, Gail Fisher with you. The White Sox lost 5-1 in Detroit. Justin Verlander with a complete game for the Tigers. The Sox have lost 2 in a row since winning 7 straight at home. We'll have tomorrow's series finale on Comcast Sportsnet at 12:05. Now back to the north side with Len and Bob.
Gail, thanks. Mark DeRosa will lead off the bottom of the 8th. Blaine Boyer will now pitch. He's the 5th hurler for Bobby Cox tonight. Nobody's gone more than 2 innings. Ryan Dempster's in the on-deck circle after 106 pitches through 8. 10 strikeouts, no walks. So for the second time this year, looks like he's going to get an opportunity to at least try to complete the game as DeRosa singles for the second time tonight. Well, let's listen in on the crowd as Dempster's announced.
Batting next, the pitcher, Ryan Dempster.
Cubs are still looking for their first complete game this year. They'll get a second shot at it. They went 8 1/3 in a 4-0 win over the Padres on May 15th. Through 116 in that ball game.
You know, Len, we were talking earlier about what Lou said down in his office about the close ball games and having to use the tail end of the bullpen as much as he has up to this point. You know, we joked that he needed a blowout. You know, he needed to win a game really big. Well, this is the other alternative. Have your starting pitcher attempt to go 9 innings. That'll give that bullpen a night off.
Oh, 2 on Dempster. No bunting situation here with a team up 5. Outside 1-2. By the way, when Alfonso was on the DL, early in the season. He went on in mid-April and missed the minimum 15 days with a strained right calf. The Cubs went 9-5. Called strike 3. And Dempster gets a big hand after strikes out. It's because it's his 4th plate appearance.
Well, former Cub pitcher and former teammate of mine, Mike Krukow, used to say that was his goal every start, to go 0 for 5 as a hitter, because that meant he pitched deep into the ball game and his spot came up 5 times in the game. That meant his offense had scored some runs for him.
Outside, looking ahead to the pitching matchups for the rest of the week, Bob. The Cubs will face nothing but right-handed starters. Hudson tomorrow. It's Tim Hudson. A.J. Burnett on Friday. Roy Halladay Saturday. And Jesse Litch on Sunday.
And not just right-handers, but good right-handers.
Yes, power right-handers.
Yeah. About good right-handers, there's one sitting in the Cubs dugout, Ryan Dempster. I think early in the season a lot of people thought, well, let's just wait a while and see how he makes this adjustment to the starting rotation, but I don't think there's any questions anymore. He loves what he's doing and he's doing it well.
Fontenot strikes out.
Hey fans, for the first time in history, Wrigley Field will host a minor league baseball game. The Road to Wrigley, presented by National City, will showcase Ryne Sandberg's Peoria Chiefs as they host the Kane County Cougars on July 29th. Kids 14 and under will have the unique chance to run the bases at the end of the ball game. Don't miss your chance to be part of the action. To order tickets, visit Cubs.com.
Nothing in 1, Ontario.
Now there are those that would say that when the 1985 Giants came here to Wrigley, that was the first minor league team to play at Wrigley Field. We lost 100 games that year and earned every one of them.
Can't imagine that'd be a lot of fun.
No.
Kick in, the pitch by Boyer, ground ball to Teixeira, and that's the 8th. Don't go anywhere. Ryan Dempster's trying to complete it. 7-2 Cubs.
Now get 0% APR financing for 60 months on any 2008 Chevy Cobalt.
There are forces at work beyond our understanding.
On Friday, June 13th,
oh my God,
the director of The Sixth Sense and Signs brings you his first R-rated film, The Happening, rated R.
Imagine changing a child's life with something as simple as an oil change. Get the Midas Touch Maintenance Package by June 28th, and Midas will donate $5 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Thanks, everybody.
Bank of America offers the opportunity to see Wrigley Field like you never have before. Take a 90-minute guided tour and check out the press box, locker room, dugouts, and much more. Tours are available on select dates and can be purchased by calling 1-800-THE-CUBS or by visiting Cubs.com.
Improve your home this summer at Menards. Side your home with Cedar Creek vinyl siding and never paint again. Double 4 inches, only $366 each. Ideal garage doors are on sale. 4-star models feature a tough steel exterior with insulated back panel and the Easy Set torsion spring system, making it easier and faster to install. An 8x7 is only $227. This 9x7 door only $259. Or get a 16x7 for just $449.
Save big money at Menards.
Get ready for an exciting Cubs finish. Brought to you by New Finish Car Polish and the #1 rated scratch remover, Scratch Doctor.
Time now for the Nissan drive of the game. Kosuke got it going in the first inning. Go-ahead 3-run homer. That was off the Brave starter Jeff Bennett, who was filling in for Jair Jurgens, who suffered an ankle injury after the game last night. So he was scratched. Bennett went just 2+ and was charged with 7 runs. Omar Infante came in the 6th to play third base for Chipper Jones, getting his first, well, probably only at bat tonight. 1-1 the count. Nobody up in the Cubs bullpen. It is all set up for Ryan Dempster to finish it. And if he does, it'll be his first complete game since September 25th of 2002. Dropped by Ramirez. The throw is going to be late. Little slip there by Aramis. That's his 6th error on the season. And he had one on Saturday in LA. Had a long streak without one.
Might have still had a play had he not lost his right foot right there trying to plant to make the throw. Still has a chance at this point, but when he lost his back foot, he couldn't get anything on the throw, and Infante was able to beat it out.
Ryan Dempster was a Cincinnati Red on September 25th, 2002 at Wrigley Field, the last time he pitched a complete game in the major leagues. So 6 seasons ago. And it's been almost a full year since the last Cubs complete game, June 16th of last year. Carlos Zambrano. It was a 1-0 loss to the San Diego Padres. One and 2 on Teixeira. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Russell Branyan hit a solo home run in the 9th inning. That was the only run in that game on June 16th of last year. Fontenot, Terrio, Lee, they turn it. Two down. Ruben Gotay will pinch hit, representing the last chance for the Braves.
Well, one of the toughest double plays to turn to that right side of the infield, but Fontenot gets it to Terrio in a hurry. That gives Ryan enough time to square his body and make a good throw to D. Lee to complete that double play.
Inside on the switch hitter Gotay. 1-0. O'Wine in the pitch, fouled back. I don't know if they're saying let's go Ryan or let's go Dempster. Maybe both kind of blending together. One and 2.
Boy, that was a whatever gas you have left in the tank fastball right there from Ryan Dempster. He just reared back and let it go at 92 miles an hour. Gotay fouled it way foul on the third base side.
Deep breath by Dempster. Here he comes. Little high, 2-2.
Well, if there's any justice, he'll throw a split finger here to strike out the Braves hitter. That's been his best pitch all night long.
The pitch, swing and a miss. Cubs win. And Dempster goes the distance. His first complete game since 2002. And the Cubs beat the Braves 7-2 the final. He finishes the night with 11 strikeouts, no walks, 119 pitches for Ryan Dempster. Time to sing. Josh Mora standing by with Ryan Dempster.
All right, guys, thanks very much for the question, Ryan. Do you remember your last complete game?
I think it might have been here at Wrigley.
Yeah.
A long time ago. So, yeah, it was a good game. It felt good to get out there and finish it. I had a chance earlier this year where I didn't get it done, and go out there and finish the game and get another win for us. We won the series and been playing so well at home. And, you know, the guys put up a bunch of runs early and just took the pressure off me and just try to keep making pitches. It was a good win for us today.
Well, you're a big part of that. How do you explain 8-0 here at home?
I don't know. I'll just keep taking them. I need to start winning on the road somehow.
Yeah, well, but you've pitched actually better from an earned run average standpoint on the road. Let's get to the one negative. You lost Alfonso Soriano. I don't know if you know, he broke a bone in his hand. But maybe some of this goes back to last night. And you ended up hitting Brian McCann a little bit later. Were the two related?
No, you know, I'm just trying to pitch inside right there. And you know, that's the tough part when you got such a strong guy like Soria. I bet my life the guy wasn't trying to hit him, and unfortunately got away and, you know, and hurt one of our big guns, and hopefully he won't be out long and we can have him back real soon, and the rest of the guys here can pick him up and keep playing well.
Well, let's close out by going back to the complete game. And when you decided to become a starter again and made that move through management and through Lou Piniella, when did you think that this would be possible, that you could be this good and to have a complete game again?
I don't know. I guess that's what I worked so hard for this winter, just to go out there and continue to try and give us a chance to win every fifth day, you know. And I guess when you're a starting pitcher, me personally, I don't just set goals to be average. I'm trying to be the best I can be and trying to learn every time out and get better. And, you know, even today I threw a complete game, but unfortunately I made a mistake, you know, in the seventh. And, you know, that's the stuff you build off of and you aim towards next time.
But a good win. Congratulations, and go get that first road win next time.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, that's Ryan Dempster. Cubs' first complete game in nearly a year. Guys?
Josh, thanks. And for Ryan Dempster, Bob, that is his 9th career complete game. So it's not like he's never done it before. He was an all-star at one point with Florida, and he may be an all-star again this year.
Well, and it couldn't have come at a better time to give that bullpen an entire night off down there. Not even a warm-up, not even playing catch. They all had the full night off and should be back rested and ready tomorrow night.
Nice work, partner. We'll see you tomorrow, and we want to thank our producer, Bob Albrecht, our director, Dave Turner, our associate producer tonight, Tamara Anderson, our stage manager, Christine Charbonneau, our technical director, Clark Zabo. Jim Corno Jr. is our executive producer. Great work by our entire Comcast Sportsnet crew. So that'll do it for our game coverage. Stay tuned. More to come on Post Game Live. Hope that dog stayed away from my car. Final score tonight, Cubs 7, Braves 2. Our next Cubs telecast will be Friday from Toronto at 6 o'clock on Comcast Sportsnet Plus. It'll be Sean Gallagher against A.J. Burnett. In-game scoring provided by ScorePad. And now for Bob, for Josh Moore, and our entire crew, this is Len Casper. You've been watching Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet.
All right, Len, thank you very much. Ryan Dempster said he wanted to go deep in the game. We'll take all the way.
119 pitches is pretty deep, yeah.
Well, let's cross our fingers now on Fonzie. Mark Shanowski, Pat Boyle back at our Comcast Sportsnet studios. Gail Fisher, Dan Plezek will have the very latest on Alfonso Soriano's injury, including Lou Piniella's post-game press conference coming up next on Cubs Postgame Live.
Then stick around after that show for Land Rover Sports Night. Chris Bowden has a one-on-one interview with new Bulls head coach Vinny Del Negro, and GM John Paxson talks about why he hired a coach with no previous experience.
And Brian Urlacher and the Bears have some positive talks in regards to Brian's contract situation.
Plus, we'll have highlights from Game 2 between the White Sox and Tigers in Detroit this evening.
Those stories and a whole lot more on Land Rover Sports Night coming your way at the top of the hour after Cubs Postgame Live, which starts after this timeout.
Let me get $10 on pump 3.
All right.
Make that $7 on 3. Oh. Make it $2 on 3. Wait a minute.
And 64 cents on number 5, please.
The new bigger double cheeseburger, just $1.59. AM, PM, too much good stuff.
I see skies of blue.
Some discover it through the wonder of others. Some experience it volunteering their time, while others find it through the expectation of tomorrow. It's wellness. And at Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois, yours means the world to us. Because when it all comes together, we want to give you the confidence to experience wellness everywhere.
What a wonderful world.
We have a code blue.
Code what? Code blue? Code blue. Code blue. Code blue.
Divided by the total sales, you'll see how we came up with the 10%.
Code blue?
Code blue. The cold activated bottle from Coors Light. The mountains on the label turn blue when your beer is as cold as the Rockies.
Oh, what?
Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Hi. Ronnie's phone here. Ronnie's not going to answer because he's a dillweed. See, Ronnie doesn't have AT&T, so he's basically got 0 bars in this dump. So although you've called like 30 times about Motorhead tickets tonight, he's not calling you back.
For the best coverage, switch to AT&T. More bars in more places.
The ace of spades.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by Southwest Airlines. With Southwest Airlines, you're now free to be more productive. Visit southwest.com today. The first ever Pontiac G8. Build your own at pontiac.com/G8. Menards. At Menards, you'll find big lumber yards, big selection, and big savings. And by GMC. Engineered to the highest standard. Professional grade.
Frank Poor's going to watch that one, and it will go! That's a 3-run homer.
Kosuke Fukudome getting the Cubs offense going early on with a 3-run home run in the first inning. The Cubs go on to beat the Braves by a final count of 7-2. Ryan Dempster with a complete game for the Cubs, the team's first and Dempster's first of the season. Hello and welcome to Lowe's Cubs Postgame Live. I'm Gail Fisher alongside Dan Plesac. So a great outcome for the Cubs, who have now won 2 in a row over the Braves, going for the sweep tomorrow. Ryan Dempster with a great game, the offense coming through, but some bad news to tell you about. Alfonso Soriano was hit by a pitch in the second inning, and he was immediately taken out of the game and taken to the hospital for x-rays. There you see it there. The ball hits him in the wrist, and the x-rays aren't good, Dan. They say that he has a fractured hand, and we'll talk a little bit more about Soriano's injury in just a second, but we want to get out to Wrigley Field where Lou Piniella is addressing the media.
Couldn't pitch any better.
Losing your...
Costly loss. I mean, yeah, losing Soriano. No question. He was just starting to run the way that we thought he would. Playing well in the outfield, and he was hitting the ball for some power. So it's a bad break for us. It really is.
Do you think there was any carryover from last night?
I don't think so. I really don't. Just an unfortunate thing.
Lou, I know you're not a doctor, but did they give you any kind of timetable?
Yeah, they said 6 weeks. That's what they said.
Any first impressions how you'll fill in? Will it be, you know, DeRosa, half power?
We'll see what we do. We're going to have to probably get 2 kids up here now. And we'll see who we bring up and what we'll do. We haven't thought about it. I learned about this about the 6th or 7th inning, so we were concentrating on the ball game. But yeah, it's a shame. It really is. But things happen in baseball. We've got a farm system, and we'll utilize it. But the story tonight, outside of that, obviously, was the way the Dempster pitch, 8-0 at home. Fukudomi with a 3-run homer gets us on the board early, and we add a few more runs, and it was a good ball game. Again, it's unfortunate. What can you do? I mean, you don't want to see injuries, especially on your team, but even on other teams. But things happen.
Are you surprised at how well Dempster, changes speed and keeps these guys up? No,
not really. We shortened them up the last few times. And it goes to show you the value of doing that to your starting pitching. No, he had a really good split finger tonight. The last couple ball games, I think that pitch was lacking just a little bit. I'm talking about the quality of the pitches. But today he had it going. He had the nice slider. He had the wicked split finger and a good fastball that he was throwing to both sides of the plate for strikes.
Lou, how do you explain his dominance at home?
Sir, I don't know. I mean, I don't know that. I've been asked about, he obviously he feels comfortable here. He likes pitching here. I'm curious, maybe y'all can do a little research on what his record was closing at home here last year. So I don't know that, but I know this. He feels comfortable pitching here, and he's confident, and he's doing a heck of a job.
So it was almost a year to the day since the last Cub complete game. Are complete games just becoming sort of a lost thing in baseball?
I don't think that. I think it's the fact that starting pitching is much thinner than the bullpen, and you've got to watch it very carefully, and you've got to keep it fresh, and you can't overuse it. So, we've been carrying 13 pitchers now for a week or so, 10 days, whatever it is. So. But tonight he was nice and fresh. He wanted to finish, and he deserved to finish, and he did.
So what do you think he's been able to make that transition from the bullpen to the start?
Well, remember, he was a starter before he went to the bullpen. And he's more experienced. He's pitched under the scrutiny of closing for a year and a half here. He's added some pitches. And I'll tell you what, came to camp ready to fight De La Hoya for 15 rounds. So, I mean, he was in shape, and he was on a mission, and he's gotten off to a great start.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right, so Dan, let me get your thoughts on Alfonso Soriano. Just to recap, he was hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning. X-rays came back. He has a fractured bone in his hand. He will miss 6 weeks. Cubs once again have to do without Soriano.
Well, this is, Gail, one of the things that makes this team so good is there is a lot of depth on this roster, and this isn't a one-band gang. This is a team. You look at Derek Lee, you have Fukudomi, you have Aramis Ramirez. You certainly aren't able to replace somebody like an Alfonso Soriano, but there is enough thump in this lineup, and they have gotten major contributions throughout the entire lineup. That's one of the reasons this team has the best record in baseball, and one of the reasons that they may be one of the few teams that can afford to lose Soriano. 6 weeks is an awful long time. A lot of times you'll see teams after an injury like this kind of pick themselves up and you find a spark, something to play for. It'll be interesting to see in a week to 10 days. You know, once this really sets in, they're desperately going to miss Soriano, but there's enough firepower on the other parts of this lineup where I think they'll be able to get by.
Devastating for Fonzie, though. I'm sure you could tell from that video he knew that he was hurt. He's just struggled with injuries. He was out for an extended period of time last season with the torn quad. He already missed a couple weeks this season with a hamstring, so he's out again, this time for 6 weeks. Tough loss for the Cubs and Soriano, but they do get the win over the Braves. And Ryan Dempster comes through with a complete game, his first since 2002, the Cubs' first complete game in a year. He is our Felco star of the game, and Dan, he is now 8-0 at home.
I think Lou, in the post-game conference, I think he hit the nail right on the head. Ryan Dempster, the success he's having right now, he has had some success as a starting pitcher, but I think he came to spring training this year. You could tell in the first few days of spring training that he was there to win a starting job and not just to be a starter. He wanted to be very successful, and he's one of the hardest working guys on this team, and Lou touched on it. He's tightened up his split finger, and if you'll watch watching the game tonight, you saw a lot of defensive swings, a lot of the Braves hitters kind of feeling for the ball. It's because he has enough juice on his fastball in the low 90s. Actually, 2 pitches before the last pitch of the game, 92 miles an hour, so he was still fresh and strong. And when you're throwing in the low 90s with a good split finger and a good slider that he has, it's hard for a hitter to go up there because there's such a difference in the speed, and he's really made the split finger has been a tremendous weapon against lefties. He can ride his fastball away early in the count, use that split finger to get him off of the fastball. He's just moving him back and forth, and he was outstanding tonight.
Well, a complete game and a complete day of rest for the Cubs bullpen. All right, we have to hit a break. Let's check out our Pontiac opinion poll question, though, as we go to commercial. With Alfonso Soriano likely out 6 weeks, who should be the everyday left fielder now? Should it be Michael Hoffpauir, Reed Johnson, Matt Merton, or someone else? Log on to ComcastSportsNet.com, click the link to Chicago, then go to the Cubs page and cast your vote. We'll have the results later on Lowe's Cubs Postgame Live.
Coming up on Sports Night, the Bulls introduce Vinny Del Negro as their new head coach. We'll find out how he plans on turning things around. Contract talks could be heating up for Brian Urlacher and the Bears. In Detroit, the Sox look to get back to their winning ways. Plus, our Team Behind the Team series continues with Cubs hitting coach Gerald Perry. All that and more on Sports Night after Postgame Live.
McDonald's iced coffee comes in 3 delicious flavors, regular, vanilla, and hazelnut. Try one today.
Hello, welcome to Lowe's. Grills? Sure. I think you're a big eater, am I wrong? We have got a great selection of outdoor furniture. Go ahead, sniff it. Oh, I see you're looking at the Trex. You got everything you need? I'll take that as a yes.
Time to come out of hibernation and head over to Lowe's for all your outdoor living needs.
Oh, hey, Steve. Yeah, got it all at Lowe's. How do you like your steak?
Lowe's, let's build something together.
Rare.
Something in the way you move, little darling. Yes, there's something in the way you talk that makes me realize there's something in the way you move.
The 2008 Volvo XC90 Special Edition SUV. Get together with yours at the Volvo Model Year-End event. Now's the best time to get an 08 Volvo. Event ends June 30th.
Feel the joy with McDonald's and Coca-Cola. And right now, grab a large sweet tea, Coke, or other soft drink for just $1. Cool.
Super liquidation sale this weekend. iWireless Center. Jeans and shorts, $5. Levi's, Echo, South Pole, Rockin' Republic, Citizens of Humanity, 7 for all mankind. Fat Farm, Mud, LEI, Baby Fat, Nike, Reebok, Adidas. Shoes, $10. Leather purses, $5. Gold chains, charms, rings, and bangles, $10. Perfume and cologne, $14. White Diamond, JLo, Cool Water, Kenneth Cole, much more. MP3 players, $15. Video MP4s, $29. iWireless Center. Friday 3 to 9, Saturday 10 to 9, Sunday noon to 6.
Hi, we're Team Teskey's.
This is the time for planting beautiful gardens, and Team Teskey's has the healthy plants you want. Every time you plant, use Furlong Root Stimulator. Keep those plants healthy and producing all summer long with furlong blooming and rooting. Need help with your plants?
We're Team Teskies.
Choose from our large selection of plants and let
Team Teskies.
keep your summer beautiful. Teskies, Bettendorf and Moline.
Teskies, where homes come to life.
Playing for Peanuts, Sunday night at 7, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
Time now for our Four Seasons Who's Hot, Who's Not. Who's hot? The Yankees' Johnny Damon is hitting .484 over the past 7 days. The Marlins' Hanley Ramirez has 6 home runs in that time. And the Reds' Edison Volquez has won 2 straight starts. Now, who's not hot? The Indians' Johnny Peralta is 4 for his last 30. Yankees captain Derek Jeter is 5 for his last 27. And Rays pitcher James Shields has lost 2 straight starts, including 13 hits in 10 innings. All right, welcome back, everyone. Gail Fisher and Dan Plesac here with you. The Cubs have now won 10 straight at Wrigley Field, beating the Braves tonight 7-2. Time for our Kawasaki Let the Good Times Roll stat of the night. And basically, Dan, we're taking the whole Cubs lineup because everyone contributing here. Ryan Theriot with a couple of RBI. We saw the Fukudome 3-run home run. Aramis Ramirez getting in on the action, and even with Alfonso Soriano getting injured, as you mentioned, top to bottom, this lineup gets it done.
Well, what this lineup has done most of this season, particularly the last 2 months, is they've done a very good job of working counts, making pitchers throw a lot of pitches, hitting the ball the other way. All the things that you like to go into spring training preaching to your team, to be patient, to not be afraid to hit with 2 strikes, hit the ball the other way, hit behind runners. They've done a good job of incorporating that in April, carried over into May, and now it's become a daily part of this Cub team menu. This is a very difficult team right now to pitch against. You have to have awfully good stuff, but it's going to be offense. It's going to be tested because they're going to run into 3 really good right-handed pitchers the next 3 days.
And feeding off the crowd at Wrigley Field, they can't seem to lose at the friendly confines. All right, still to come on the show, we'll preview tomorrow's pitching matchup and get Dan's thoughts on Carlos Zambrano.
And now it's time for the Stay in the Game Hold Statistics of the Day, brought to you by Just for Men Hair Color.
And a look at the hold leaders in the National League in the past 7 days. The Cards' Randy Flores and Carlos Marmol both have 3 holds in that time.
Just as these middle relievers keep their team in the game, you too can stay in the game with Just for Men Hair Color.
It's gonna work. I don't think it will. Let's go. Dad? It's time. You'd be a really nice catch for somebody. Please?
Just for Men takes 5 easy minutes, targets only the gray hair, and can start something great.
For my girls.
Yes! I'm glad we did it.
Just for Men.
Every car maker's focusing on fuel efficiency, but they've forgotten about the power. At Nissan, we do more with a drop of fuel than any other manufacturer. The dependable Altima, versatile Sentra, and reliable Versa. 3 performance sedans with 31 miles per gallon or higher. Lease the Nissan Altima for $199 a month, or get $1,500 Nissan cash back on Sentra. Nissan sedans. Lean, mean, driving machines.
Baltimore's a great place to pick up dance moves, I find. A lot of heel work. Jazz hands, anything with jazz hands. I do the hustle just like you. Geico probably thinks this is easy too.
There's a world outside every darkened door where the brave are free and lovers soar. Come ride with me to the distant shore. Life is a highway, I wanna ride it all night long.
Ever since there were cars, Americans have had a love affair with the open road. And with quality gasoline and great snacks coast to coast, Valero is your perfect travel companion. Valero, the all-American gasoline for the all-American love affair.
Inspiration pulled from your life. That's professional grade. That's the Acadia from GMC. With the simplest form of navigation available and a 5-star crash safety rating, Acadia is helping to redefine the category. Welcome to Acadia, the crossover from GMC.
Welcome back. Let's check out our sweet play of the game. It is Ryan Dempster. Leaps up, makes a nice play on the comebacker, then throws Greg Norton out at first. Look at his reflexes, Dano.
Well, that's why, Gail, most of your pitchers are the best athletes on the entire baseball team, and Ryan Dempster showed why.
That's
exactly right.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Let's check out our Pontiac Opinion poll question of the night. We asked you, with Alfonso Soriano likely to miss 6 weeks, who should be the everyday left fielder? And the majority of you say Reed Johnson, so I'm assuming you're thinking Jim Edmonds would be your everyday center fielder. Micah Hoffbauer is also not a bad option, Dan. He was being called up anyway for the DH role coming up here when they face Toronto. Now they could probably call up a couple of people. We should have had a write-in candidate, Felix P.A. Not sure anyone's going to vote for him, though.
Well, you know what? If there was a team right now that could afford to lose somebody, you can never really afford to lose somebody like an Alfonso Soriano. But when you have the firepower that this team has, when you have a Ramos Ramirez and Derek Lee and Fukadomi, Giovanni Soto, they've had different guys at different times. Mark DeRosa has been terrific. Ryan Theriot at times has been terrific. This has been the ultimate team that's not been just one guy shouldering the load. They've done a good job of 2 or 3 guys at the same time staying hot. And on a few occasions, 1 through 8, they fired, and that's when they scored 9, 10, 11 runs. You know, and they're very capable of doing that. But I think this is a team. It's going to be tough without Soriano, but I think this team can weather the storm.
Should be an interesting pitching matchup for tomorrow's series finale. Carlos Zambrano against Tim Hudson. And Dan, you were just talking in the break about a lot of the tough pitchers now the Cubs are going to have to face. Big Z, though, on the other hand, hoping to keep the Braves down.
Well, this is going to be a stretch for these Cub teams. These are going to be 3 of about as good of pitchers that you'll run into. Tim Hudson to A.J. Burnett Friday, and then Roy Halladay Saturday with the Toronto Blue Jays. And Carlos Zambrano
needs to settle down.
You know, but that's what makes Carlos Zambrano. I don't think he's ever going to completely let go of that spark that will light him up, and he's prone to that happening. But he's had 2 little minor glitches, and just fortunately, for not only for Carlos Zambrano, but for this team, that when he had this little flare up in the dugout, they didn't injure himself banging on the water cooler.
All right, so one more game against the Braves. The Cubs looking for the sweep against Atlanta at Wrigley tomorrow before they head to Toronto. Dano's going to go north of the border. I'll hold down the fort right here. Sports Night is coming up next with Pat Boyle and Mark Shanowski. For Dan Plesac, I'm Gail Fisher. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Swing and a miss. Cubs win. And Dempster goes the distance.
Cubs Post Game Live is presented to you by Lowe's. Let's build something together.
Hello, welcome to Lowe's. Grills? Sure. I think you're a big eater, am I wrong? We have got a great selection of outdoor furniture. Go ahead, sniff it. Oh, I see you're looking at the Trex. You got everything you need? I'll take that as a yes.
Time to come out of hibernation and head over to Lowe's for all your outdoor living needs.
Oh, hey, Steve. Yeah, got it all at Lowe's. How do you like your steak?
Lowe's, let's build something together.
Rare.
Kitchen Design Limited. They're the tile specialists, right, Dex?
Oh, that's Kern's Kitchens.
Oh, these cabinets got to go, too, huh?
Kitchen Design Limited does custom.
Free consultations?
That's Kern's Kitchens.
Granite countertops.
Of course.
Calvert's Remodeling has those wholesale.
Wait, I'm confused. Who has the guarantee?
Maybe this will help.
Oh.
Now let's talk bathrooms.
Introducing DexKnows.com, the smartest local search on the web. Compare businesses side by side. See hours, services, and more. Visit DexKnows.com.
Do something about this heat.
Big ass pulling.
Yeah. We're at 50 now.
Be right there.
Don't just trust anybody to cool you down.
This fella sure we're fast.
Call Four Seasons Heating and Air Conditioning at 866-4 Seasons. For all the right reasons, Four Seasons.
Every car maker's focusing on fuel efficiency, but they've forgotten about the power. At Nissan, we do more with a drop of fuel than any other manufacturer. The dependable Altima, versatile Sentra, and reliable Versa. 3 performance sedans with 31 miles per gallon or higher. Lease the Nissan Altima for $199 a month, or get $1,500 Nissan cash back on Sentra. Nissan sedans. Lean, mean, driving machines.
The best damn sports show, period. Sports Television's nightly party. Tonight on Comcast Sportsnet.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by American Chartered Bank. American Chartered, the bank for your business. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Hi, I'm Joe Creedy of the Chicago White Sox, and you're watching Comcast Sportsnet.
Coming up on Sports Night.
The Cubs try to keep the winning ways going at home, but a big-time scare overshadows the outcome.
Toronto, Soriano got hit, but it didn't sound good.
This one's going to end up out of play. No, Joe Creedy.
The Sox flash some leather, looking to avoid back-to-back losses in Motown.
I'm not a magician.
We go one-on-one with the new Bulls head coach and find out how he plans to turn things around. Look who's here for Sports Night right about now.
This is Sports Night, presented by Land Rover.
Toronto, Soriano got hit, up and in. Left hand, the wrist area. You hope it hit muscle and not bone, but it didn't sound good. And he's down.
It didn't look good when it happened. Word came down later that Alfonso Soriano has a minimally displaced fracture on the knuckle of the ring finger on his left hand. He's expected to miss 6 weeks of action. We'll have Soriano's teammates' reaction to this injury coming up next on Sports Night. So a bittersweet night at Wrigley this evening. Welcome to Land Rover Sports Night. Mike Side with Mark Shanowski. I am Pat Boyle. The complete story of both first-place Chicago baseball teams is on the way.
But we start out at the United Center, where Vinny Del Negro gave a winning performance at his introductory news conference. Now we'll see if he can make the Bulls a winner. Chris Bowden has the early reviews.
I wanted to find someone who would resonate with our fans. I know that that's being criticized right now, but I am very confident that over time that this hiring will do just that.
I mean, hey, I haven't coached before, but like I said before, as people get to know me and get around me and we talk and get to know what I believe in and get this team going in the right direction, obviously winning builds confidence. And there's a young team here, and they need a little bit of a confidence boost, I think. And it's not going to be I'm not, like I said before, I'm not a magician.
The first step in answering whether he is the right man for this job is getting his players past that inexperience to buy in, play hard, and up to their potential. 3 elements missing from a suddenly fragmented team this past season.
I think you have to start with communication. If you can communicate with your players, obviously you have to be a disciplinarian, but you have to, I think my style is going to be, you're going to have to be able to put your arm around them and take them to lunch and talk to them. These are young players that need guidance. There's no crystal ball. Just because you draft players at a high position doesn't mean just because they wear the Chicago Bulls jersey, all of a sudden they're professionals. It takes time to do that, and we have a lot of young players here.
Our guys last year did not play with any confidence, and they were kind of beaten down. And I was looking for someone who had leadership ability, could communicate, and bring them to a higher level on the basketball court, because I believe we have talent. You don't always have to look at things in a conventional way, and or the way that satisfies the mass of people. For whatever reason, there was a lot of things out there, and there seemed to be the sense that we didn't know what we were doing. Up at the Berto Center, we never felt that way at any point.
And while Paxson admits there were serious talks with the likes of Mike D'Antoni and Doug Collins, he denies reports Del Negro will end up making in his entire contract what D'Antonio will get annually in New York. Del Negro knows he's green and will need some knowledge from his assistants to establish the strong defensive presence, versatility, and up-tempo offense he desires.
I think the staff I'm going to put around is a staff that complements me well and hides my weaknesses, and a very qualified staff. Not to say they have to be past head coaches or whatever, but the most qualified staff that we can find as a group to surround myself where we all feel very comfortable. I feel very comfortable, and I can let those guys go and do their job, and I can oversee everything instead of trying to, figure out everything myself.
Today is the first day, and it's not going to be, things aren't going to be determined by today. It's going to be what happens from here on out.
It has been 10 years since the Bulls won the last of their 6 championships. Del Negro becomes the 4th head coach to try to bring the franchise back to those heights. From the United Center, Chris Bowden, Comcast Sportsnet.
Thanks, Chris. And if you'd like to see more of Vinny's news conference, we'll bring it to you right here on Comcast Sportsnet immediately following this edition of Sports Night. And coming up later in this show, Chris talks one-on-one with Del Negro to find out more about his coaching philosophy. Plus, our Bulls analysts Norm Van Leer and Kendall Gill will share their thoughts on the Bulls' new head coach.
Just about everything has gone the Cubs' way as they look to end the 100-year drought. That is until tonight. Alfonso Soriano has a minimally displaced fracture on the knuckle of his ring finger on his left hand after he was hit by a Jeff Bennett pitch in the 2nd inning tonight. Lou Piniella said Fonzie will be sidelined for 6 weeks with that broken finger. He'll be placed in a splint for the next 3 weeks. We will now see how this team deals with adversity. Injuries were the steady theme going at Wrigley tonight. Braves scheduled starter Jair Jurgens missed the game after twisting his right ankle on the dugout stairs yesterday. So Jeff Bennett got the spot start a day after he turned 28, and he would struggle. Aramis singles to left in the 1st inning, so 2-on, 2-out for Kosuke Fukudome, and he delivers. His 5th of the season gives the Cubs a 3-0 lead. So Ryan Dempster working with the early cushion, and he helps himself. Dempster leaps and makes the glove save on the comebacker and throws out Greg Naughton to end the 2nd. Bottom 2nd, 2-on for Soriano, and Bennett hits him right there in the left hand. Didn't look good. After x-rays, we find out broken bone in that ring finger on the left hand, likely out a month and a half. Next batter, Ryan Terry on the right goes shopping at the gap. That plate's Mark DeRosa. Pinch runner Fontenot comes around to score. Terrio's 2-run double makes it 5-0 North Sider. Same score in the 3rd inning. Bases juice for Jim Edmonds. Starting to find that groove here the last week and a half. Ramirez comes in to score. Fukudome is in there safely, and the Cubs are up a touchdown. The rest was up to Dempster in the 4th. He drills Brian McCann in the ribs. Said it wasn't payback for Soriano. No warnings were issued. In the 5th, Dempster gets Brandon Jones browsing, then Chipper to end the 6th. Out of the 7th, Dempster facing pinch hitter Corky Miller. He drives one deep to left. So Dempster loses the shutout, but that's all he would give up. Facing Blanco here in the 7th. Dempster struck out 11 tonight. In the 9th, Dempster going all the way gets Ruben Gotay to end it. Throws the first complete game of the season for the Cubs as they take it 7-2. Here's Lou on Ryan.
Costly loss. I mean, losing Soriano. No question. He was just starting to run the way that we thought he would. Playing well in the outfield, and he was hitting the ball for some power. So it's a bad break for us. It really is.
Lou, I know you're not a doctor, but did they give you any kind of timetable?
Yeah, they said 6 weeks. That's what they said.
We'll get Lou's reaction to Alfonso's injury a little bit later on. More from that, and also we'll hear their thoughts on Ryan Dempster's performance as the Cubs win their 28th at Wrigley this season.
And now to the first-place White Sox. After sweeping a 7-game homestand against Kansas City and Minnesota, Sox players were hoping a brief 3-game trip to Detroit wouldn't stall their momentum before they get back home to play interleague series against Colorado and Pittsburgh, 2 teams they should clean up on. Turns out the Sox had every reason to be concerned. Let's check out the highlights from Comerica Park's 2nd game of a 3-game series with the Tigers. Javi Vasquez going for win number 7 on the season, but in the 2nd inning, Marcus Thames tees off on the first pitch he sees, and that one's not coming back. 3-run homer to left, 7th of the year for Timms. Quickly, it's 3-0 Tigers. Justin Verlander on the mound for Detroit. He was just 1-6 lifetime against the Sox. Top of the 4th inning, A.J. Pierzynski pulls one into right field. Orlando Cabrera comes around from second. He's going to score, but Maglio Ordonez comes up throwing. He guns down A.J. trying to get to second. Sox trailing now 3-1. Bottom of the 4th inning, Detroit will get that run right back. Mags single to center field. Brandon Inge scores to make it 4-1. Vasquez allows 5 runs in his 6 innings on the mound. Top of the 7th now, Jermaine Dye drills one to left center, but watch Brent Cleveland. Lays out, makes the nice inning-ending catch. Sox muster just 4 base hits on the night. We move ahead to the 9th inning now. Verlander still in. Man on, nobody out. Orlando Cabrera grounder to short. Edgar Renteria's throw to second looks late, but Brian Anderson called out by umpire Chris Tiller. Ozzie Guillen comes out to argue, and as you can see, Anderson beat the play. Sox hoping for a big inning, but it was not going to happen. Instead, Verlander finishes off the complete game. He gets Carlos Quentin a little nubber to third to end the game. The Tigers beat the Sox for the 2nd straight night. 5-1 is your final score. Time now for our Honda head-to-head pitching matchup for tomorrow's series finale. Features a pair of veteran lefties, Mark Burley for the Sox and the Gambler, Kenny Rogers for Detroit. As you know, both guys are former All-Stars, but neither pitcher is having a good season so far. Opposing hitters batting well over 300. It will be a Thursday matinee at Comerica Park. Our coverage begins with White Sox pregame live at 11:30 a.m. And Hawk and DJ have the call this afternoon. So make your plans to be with us. White Sox baseball tomorrow afternoon right here on Comcast Sportsnet.
Still to come on this show is a tempered reaction to the Cubs' 10th straight victory at home. They lose Fonzie for 6 weeks with a broken bone in his left hand. We'll have much more from Wrigley coming up. Plus, our Team Behind the Team series continues with Len Casper sitting down with Cubs hitting coach Gerald Perry. And we check in on the Bears OTAs today, where Brian Urlacher made a surprise appearance. Plus, the Bears running back crew discusses Cedric Benson's release and if they feel the team needs to bring in a veteran.
Land Rover Sports Night is brought to you by your local Land Rover dealers. The adventure begins at your Illinois Land Rover retailer today.
Around the world, more than 70,000 Land Rovers are engaged in peacekeeping, humanitarian aid, and scientific inquiry. And then there's these guys. Make an appointment to put a Land Rover through its paces.
If ever you're not satisfied with one of our tires, please feel free to bring it back. Thank you. Discount Tire Company.
Low prices, more choices on the world's best brands like Michelin and B.F. Goodrich.
Yeah, you know the spot.
Right away, sir.
Welcome to Giordano's. Your table's ready.
Thank you.
How's everything?
Fantastic.
What's your secret?
It's the fresh ingredients, and it's been so for the last 30 years.
We made it good. You made it famous.
The Crosstown Classic, June 20th and 21st on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend.
Oh, baseball!
Showing some power there. Tommy Harris holding his first charity golf event at White Eagle Golf Club in Naperville. A number of his teammates showed up to lend a helping hand, including Marty Booker, Adewale Agulia, and Mark Anderson. All the players, as you can see, having a good time, although not always hitting it straight, while they were raising money for children's charities.
I can drive, but I can't do nothing else after that. Yo, look here, you all have about 10 people on your team. Man, we just out here having a great time. Wale jumped in, my agent jumped in, everybody out here enjoying themselves. It's cool, the fans, and you got the neighborhood kids here standing in the middle of the fairways getting autographs. That's a little strange, but, you know, it's fun.
Yeah, right now my golf game, it started off kind of slow, you know, but I'm starting to catch on to it. My little teammates right here, my partners,
Right.
They showed me how to, how to hold the golf. Check this out, man. You got to hold it something like this.
Right.
Feet parallel.
Right. Man, with all that power.
Yeah. And then she'll get you a hole in one.
Ready for the U.S. Open tomorrow. All right, while the Bears work on their golf game and look to add a free agent running back to fill the roster spot vacated by Cedric Benson, maybe some of said salary can be used to sweeten the contract extension for Brian Urlacher. The Bears' defensive leader was on the field for OTAs today, and William Jackson was there.
The Bears got a surprise on Wednesday as they took the field for non-mandatory OTAs. Number 54 was there. Brian Urlacher had missed all previous non-mandatory activities, unhappy with his contract situation. But Comcast Sportsnet has learned that there is positive dialogue going on between the two sides concerning Urlacher's contract, and that they are much further along now than they have been over the past 3 weeks. While Urlacher's contract is one distraction the Bears hope to rid themselves of soon, the Bears got rid of another, waiving Cedric Benson on Monday. This after a second alcohol-related arrest in 5 weeks. After you analyze the situation, it's not surprising, the NFL is cracking down on off-the-field incidents, and it's just unfortunate, a great player, great talent, just run into a string of off-the-field incidents, and you got to suffer the consequences.
Well, yeah, me and Cedric grew close, and things are expected of us, and obviously, the staff may have felt that Cedric didn't do things that were necessary, but Cedric was a good friend, he was a great teammate, and I will miss him.
I like Ced. Ced was all right with me, and you hate to see this happen, but like I was saying earlier, we all have a responsibility, and we're responsible to a lot of people, and we got to handle our business.
But what's done is done, and the Bears still have a season to get ready for. And with Benson out of the mix, do the Bears need to bring in another veteran back, or are they okay with the likes of Matt Forte, Adrian Peterson, and Garrett Wolf?
I don't think it matters what, me, Adrian, or Matt feels, or PJ as well. I think the only thing that matters is how the coaches feel about the situation, and I think the coaches are confident in us. And if they're not confident, they'll bring somebody else in to, help increase the competition level or whatever they deem necessary.
I like the guys we got here, We got a lot of guys that are capable of doing, great things. They've been productive in a collegiate career, and I'm sure they'll be productive in an NFL career. But, that's up to the people upstairs. They bring another guy in, we'll embrace him, as a teammate, and he'll come in and help us out. Speaking of running backs, Adrian Peterson was absent from practice on Wednesday. This after undergoing an appendectomy. Bears officials say the procedure went well, and he should only be out a brief period of time. Maybe back as early as next week. At Hallis Hall with the Bears, William Jackson, Comcast Sportsnet.
All right, Billy Jack, thank you very much. The Bears announced that individual game tickets will go on sale for Ticketmaster at noon this Saturday. Tickets range from $68 to $350. There's a 4-ticket limit for regular season games, and Mark, no limit for preseason games.
Load on up for the games that don't count. Doesn't seem all that long ago, fans at Soldier Field were wearing number 88 jerseys, bearing the name of the team's top wide receiver, Marcus Robinson. After stops in Baltimore, Minnesota, and Detroit, Robinson is calling it quits. He signed a 1-day contract to retire as a Bear after 11 NFL seasons.
The Bears have always been my favorite team. I remember, filling out the Pro Bowl ballot list. We couldn't pick guys for our team, but I would look for Chicago Bear guys. Even though I didn't really know them, I knew their names, but I would pick the Chicago Bear guys at that point in time. So this is where I started. This is where I would always like to end. I live here. This is my home. So it was definitely something that I knew when the time came, it was going to be here, definitely.
Marcus Robinson, always a class act. Bears Hall of Fame linebacker Dick Butkus back in Chicago tonight to talk about a program to educate young athletes on the dangers of steroids and other performance-enhancing drugs. In case you hadn't heard, the annual Butkus Award will now be given right here in Chicago, the top linebacker in the NFL, college, and high school ranks.
I think the high school is where we got to get to. I'm thinking back. Let's say we started this 23 years ago on the high school level. I mean, who knows how many kids we might have saved. And girls, everybody thinks it's boys, but a lot of girls are trying and fooling with steroids also.
I think it's appropriate he's brought the award back because, Chicago likes linemen and linebackers. That's the history of Chicago. It doesn't matter where you came from. They all like linebackers and linemen.
Coming up next, we'll have much more reaction to Alfonso Soriano's hand injury, and Chris Bowden goes one-on-one with new Bulls coach Vinny Del Negro. Find out more about his coaching style and why he thinks he didn't get the head coaching job in Phoenix.
Every situation is different. Obviously, the Bulls are a young team that need to build, that need to get their confidence back in their players maybe a little bit, and there was a connection there.
Now it's time for our Land Rover Big Question in honor of Ryan Dempster's achievement tonight. We want to know who was the last Cubs pitcher to begin a season with 8 straight winning decisions at home. Think about it. We'll have the answer coming up.
At Nissan, we started with a stitch. Then we thought 2 would be even better. We thought the seat should appear at the touch of a button, and the folks in the back should have a moonroof too. We thought you should see traffic in real time and control your music seamlessly with your iPod. Then we thought, why not bring it all to you first? Introducing the future of the crossover. Here, now. The all-new 2009 Nissan Murano.
What do you think of Mike Wallace and the Geico Toyota?
Whatever. He's out there selling car insurance. I'm out there to win.
Isn't he your cousin?
I didn't say I wouldn't go fishing with the man. All I'm saying is, he comes near me, I'll put him in the wall.
You don't even race in the series.
Listen, go-kart track, grocery store, those remote-controlled boats. When it comes to Mike Wallace, the story ends with me putting him in the wall.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15%.
You can stop searching for that perfect family activity. Ted's Boatorama has your solution. A new runabout boat from Tahoe. A new Tahoe boat is something your entire family can enjoy, and Ted's Boatorama has the perfect one for you. Great for fishing, cruising, or just catching some sun, the Tahoe offers your family the ultimate boating experience. Go ahead, gather your family and enjoy a summer of skiing, sunning, and relaxing in a new Tahoe.
Ted's Boatorama, boat Boatorama, Ted's Boatorama, boat Boatorama.
At Western Illinois University Quad Cities, recognized as the best Midwestern college by the Princeton Review and a top-tier school by U.S. News & World Report. WIU's cost guarantee locks in the cost of tuition and fees. Your life, your future, your Western Illinois University Quad Cities.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Let's go get them. Good luck. All right, driver, tighten your belts up. Ready? These cars off. Green flag.
The NASCAR Nationwide Series on ESPN2. Classic racing action.
NASCAR on ESPN2 is brought to you by
River Valley Turf in Davenport and Silvis, your John Deere Gold Star dealership.
On Sports Rise every morning, only on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
The pitch, swing and a miss. Cubs win. And Dempster goes the distance.
Ryan Dempster throws the Cubs' first complete game of the season. He struck out 11, giving up 4 hits. He did not walk a batter. Cubs win it 7-2. Ryan's first complete game since September 2002. Here's Demp after the game.
Yeah, no, that was fun. You know, I had a chance earlier this year and didn't get it done, and it was nice to go out there and finish it. And what an ovation, man. The crowd was buzzing and the energy was unreal, and it was a good win. I mean, we put up so many runs early, and the guys took the pressure off me to just go out there and make pitches and to try to work quick and work ahead and throw strikes and try and stay out there for as long as possible.
Would you say one of your best moments as a Cub personally?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think obviously, you know, far behind going to the playoffs and stuff like that, but you know, to go through everything I've been through and come back as a starter here and throw a complete game like that is at Wrigley Field. You know, it was a good experience. It was a good time, and you know, definitely, you know, kind of fed off the energy. It was a big win for us, win a series, you know, and now we have to go out there and try and win one tomorrow and keep doing what we're doing at home, take it on the road.
Is that why you do so well here? Is it the energy? I mean, why you're unbeaten here?
No, we just, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, you know, I like it here. I like pitching on the road too. It just hasn't worked out yet. Hopefully, I'll start getting some wins out there, and You know, but I enjoy pitching at home, man. It's from going out, running out in center field before the game when I'm warming up, the bleachers are cheering for you, and you know, going out there from the first pitch on, it's exciting, it's entertaining, it's great being a home player here right now. I mean, we're doing really well at home, we're winning a lot of games, and the fans are enjoying it and having a good time, and it makes it easy to come to work, that's for sure.
How are things tempered? Friday night in Toronto. Oh, Soriano got hit up and in. You hope it hit muscle and not bone, but it didn't sound good. And he is down. Oh.
And now to the bad news for the Cubs tonight. Alfonso Soriano hit by a pitch during the second inning. X-rays revealed a broken bone in his left hand. Fonzie's likely to miss a month and a half of action. For more on tonight's game and the Soriano injury, let's go live to Wrigley Field and welcome in Josh Mora. And Josh, the Cubs reeling off 10 straight wins at home, and then the bad news of the Soriano injury. What's the atmosphere like in the locker room?
Yeah, well, it's another victory, but a Pyrrhic victory at best, Mark. Certainly the guys are happy about the win, but they're really bummed, not only about the news of Soriano's injury, but they're bummed for Soriano in this injury because he was just starting to play well and really starting to get his legs back. Now, just to show you where this bone is, it is the actual diagnosis following X-rays at Northwestern Hospital earlier this evening say it is a minimally displaced fracture of his left fourth metacarpal. In English, what that means is this ring finger on his left hand below the bottom knuckle, this bone right here. As Lou Piniella said, they're telling the Cubs that it should be about a 6-week injury. And as I mentioned, all of the players on the Cubs really considered this to be a very disappointing aspect of what was otherwise another exciting win.
That's a real bummer. You know, it's hard to sit back and enjoy your victory when one of your best players and one of your leaders on your team goes down. So he's proven in the past he's a pretty darn quick healer. So hopefully this is the minimum time missed, and you know, it's up to the other guys to pick him up.
I just felt bad for him. You know, he's been hurt earlier this year. Fought hard to get back. Seemed like he was getting his legs back, and then he has to go through this. You know, I've been through it. It's tough to sit out and watch your team.
Terrible. I mean, I feel bad for him, and you know, by no means was it even close to being intentional. You know, we had him 0-2, and you know, I just hope he heals and comes back and, you know, can finish out the season.
Well, of course, now the Cubs have to replace Soriano for 6 weeks, and they have to replace him in a couple of different ways. They have to replace him as their left fielder. Mark DeRosa could do that. Michael Hoffpower could do that. They would also have to replace him as their leadoff man. That's a role better suited for either Ryan Theriot or Reed Johnson.
We're going to have to probably get 2 kids up here now. And we'll see who we bring up and what we'll do. We haven't thought about it. I learned about this about the 6th or 7th inning, so we were concentrating on the ball game. But yeah, it's a shame. It really is. But things happen in baseball. We've got a farm system, and we'll utilize it.
Everybody knows that's a comfortable spot for me in the order and the leadoff spot, and you know, I've been hitting 8th a lot, which is becoming a little bit more comfortable for me. Just starting to learn that spot in the lineup, so it's you know, wherever I play, it's really you know, shouldn't change my approach. It shouldn't change any hitter's approach whether they move around the lineup or not.
You hit wherever you know, wherever they put you, and you know, you're only leadoff one time around the order anyway, so. You know, we'll just got somebody's gonna have to pick up the slack, and you know, he'll be back.
Well, and Theriot added, just don't count on him hitting any leadoff home runs, though he only has 1 on the season. He did have a couple of RBI tonight. You did hear Brian McCann address one of the issues about this was the question of, was there some carryover from last night when Ted Lilly threw above McCann's head after Greg Norton had hit a 3-run home run for the Braves. All of the Cubs said they didn't think so. They thought it was just a pitch that got up and away from the emergency starter for Atlanta, Jeff Bennett. However, it should be noted that a couple of innings later, Ryan Dempster plunked McCann right in the ribs, said that was he was just trying to pitch inside. But, you know, there's a lot of, and there were no warnings given by the home plate umpire, Ted Barrett, after that. So that may have just been baseball. Certainly both teams seemed to be okay with the way it played out. But Dempster was in perfect control the rest of the night. The Cubs' first complete game of the season, his first complete game since he was a Cincinnati Red 6 years ago. So it might be hard to believe that that was just a pitch that got a little bit too far inside, but whatever the case, it seems to be over now. The bad news for the Cubs, as Ryan Dempster said, they lose a player, Alfonso Soriano, out for 6 weeks, which will again likely take the Cubs past the All-Star break before Soriano returns to the lineup. Guys?
Josh, got a quick question for you. Lou Piniella mentioned the possibility of recalling a couple of youngsters. Of course, they've been going with 13 pitchers for the last week plus. I know they want to bring Micah Hoffpower up to DH in those American League ballparks. Who else might get a recall? I know we're looking at guys like Matt Merton, Felix Piet, Eric Patterson. What are you hearing down there?
Yeah, well, those are the three guys that you would immediately come to mind. I think it depends on how the Cubs want to handle the situation and what they're looking to replace in Soriano. Are they looking to replace his power? Are they looking to replace more of his speed and some kind of energy and adrenaline into the lineup like that? It depends a little bit on who's playing best down there. One of the things Lou Piniella did say is he just found out about the extent of the injury in the 6th or the 7th inning. When he spoke to us, the Cubs had not yet even begun to discuss how they would replace Soriano, other than to say that they'd probably recall 2 guys now instead of 1. They had planned to call up Hoffpower up, as you mentioned, to be the DH in the 6 American League games coming up starting on Friday in Toronto.
All right, Josh, great job. We'll look for your full report on the midnight edition of Sports Night.
Stick around. We'll have much more from the Cubs clubhouse on the loss of Alfonso Soriano. And our postgame live analyst, Dan Plesac, breaks down Ryan Dempster's huge night. Len Casper's special sit-down with Cubs hitting coach Gerald Perry's on the way, including working with Kosuke Fukudome and how he keeps his hitters focused day in and day out.
90% of the game is definitely mental, where you, if you believe you're gonna go up there and tear the cover off the ball, good chance you're gonna have a quality at bat.
The K&G 2 Suits for $150 event is on. Right now, for a limited time, you can get 2 selected men's suits for just $150. That's less than the price of 1 at a department store. K&G Fashion Superstore.
Something in the way you move, little darling. Yes, there's something in the way you talk that makes me realize there's something in the way you move that makes me.
The 2008 Volvo S80 luxury sedan. Get together with yours at the Volvo Model Year-End event. Now's the best time to get an 08 Volvo. Event ends June 30th.
Time for a little high life housekeeping. You can't park here. Keep an eye on. So this is how the other half of 1% lives. Hello, common sense check. $5 for chips, $13.50 for a bag of nuts. This hotel just lost its key to the high life. We got a lot of high life to collect. High life housekeeping. And they say money can't buy you love. Common sense, this is your wake-up call. Get your butt up. For $13, I'll be a macadamia nut.
That's a strike.
Burley cruising right along here in the 5th inning.
Well, you know he likes to work fast.
Apparently not fast enough.
He gone. Burley getting it done again. Just like that. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the middle of the 5th. Sox up 3-0.
If ever you're not satisfied with one of our tires, please feel free to bring it back. Thank you. Discount Tire Company.
Low prices, more choices on the world's best brands, like Michelin and B.F. Goodrich.
Grosinger Pontiac guarantees you the best experience when you buy your new Pontiac. Our experienced staff guarantees to take up as little of your time as possible. Our selection of 500 Pontiacs guarantees you'll find what you want. And Grosinger always offers their lowest prices. That's why you gotta go to Grosinger Pontiac.
The K&G 2 Suits for $150 event is on. Right now, for a limited time, you can get 2 selected men's suits for just $150. That's less than the price of 1 at a department store. K&G Fashion Superstore.
I have a lot of respect for Vinny. You know, he worked for me in Phoenix, and he was involved in player personnel work. He's a thinking guy. He loves the game. He's a player's coach. He will be that for sure, and he's cerebral.
Chicago native Jerry Colangelo and former Bull Steve Kerr both praised Vinny Del Negro. Kerr, the Suns' current general manager, interviewed Vinny for his head coaching gig before going with Terry Porter. Kerr felt his veteran team needed a coach who had experience. John Paxson believes his outside-the-box candidate will work well with this young Bulls team. Our Chris Bowden asked Vinny what type of style he'd like to implement and what kind of players he needs to do it.
Now that I am the head coach of the Chicago Bulls, there's going to obviously get in front of the players, tell them what I believe in, tell them what's expected. I'm not going to have any preconceived notions on what happened in the past. Obviously, it was a disappointing season last year. And the people that I trust, I'll listen to in terms of Pax and Gar and things, and we'll sit down and I'll meet with the players and get our staff together. But obviously, there's a lot of positive pieces here, having the #1 pick. And even if we didn't have the #1 pick, there's a lot of positive pieces here. So there's a lot to be very excited about, and I'm looking forward to the challenge. It's an incredible responsibility Jerry and John have given me, and I'm looking forward to the challenge. And it won't be for lack of effort or preparation or attention to detail and things of that nature. And I have to surround myself with a very qualified staff. I know that, and there's going to be a big adjustment period. But it's a young team. I'm a young coach, and if we can build together and get a vision and everybody going in the right direction and pulling together for each other, I think a lot of great things can happen here.
I know a lot of people want to know how you felt about your role in Phoenix and the fact that the man that you worked for, you know, decided to go in another direction and not hire you.
Yeah, and that was understandable because of the situations there are different. Every situation there is different, or every situation is different. Obviously, the Bulls are a young team that need to build, that need to get their confidence back in their players maybe a little bit, and there was a connection there. In Phoenix, you know, Steve and the ownership there, you know, haven't been around obviously as long as John and Jerry Reinsdorf and things, so they had their vision on how they wanted to run things with more of a veteran team. And Steve felt very comfortable in his decision there. So I learned a lot from that organization. They were very supportive in this process. And, you know, sometimes you just have to move on. I played with different franchises in a long career, so sometimes it's just time, and it was the right timing for me to come to Chicago.
For all you know how rabid Chicago fans are, how rabid Bulls fans are, if you have a message to them here as you take this job, what might that be?
I think, you know, I understand the skepticism, there's no question about it, but give me a little time, be a little patient. Let's see the development of the players, and all that skepticism won't go away until we start playing games. There's a long process involved before we start doing that, and I can just tell them right now it won't be for lack of effort or lack of preparation or lack of attention to detail. And I'm going to try to get everybody on the same page as quick as possible. Some will come quicker than others. Some will take more time. And that's part of being a head coach in this league. You have to kind of differentiate what you feel and how you feel and make the ultimate decision on what's best for this team.
Well, here's a look at Vinny Del Negro's resume. He was a star player for Jim Valvano at NC State and played for 5 teams in the NBA from 1988 to 2001, the bulk of that with the Spurs. Worked as a broadcaster with Phoenix after his retirement, then joined the Suns front office in 2006. So what does our postgame live crew think of Pax's hire? Let's send it over to Mark and the guys to find out.
All right, Pat, thanks a lot. And obviously, our star-studded panel, Norm Van Leer and Kendall Gill, was a little bit skeptical about Vinny Del Negro. No coaching experience, but did he win you over just a bit with his performance during the news conference?
Well, he have a gift gab. I like that. You know, to talk things out. It's just like being a good old-fashioned preacher that you can get across and get everybody to listen and understand. And I think that takes, you know, a talent to do that. So now I can transfer that over to the court.
You can see how he won over John Paxson. He talked about he had a book of plays and coaching philosophy.
Right.
He said he wants to have a defensive presence. He wants to play fast and quick, but not in a hurry. Did he impress you with that kind of philosophy?
He impressed me. Just like Norm said, he has the gift of gab. He's a great salesman. Now we got to see the product.
Yeah.
I think that, you know, when he interviewed with Paxson, and we were talking before we went on camera, we were saying he must have interviewed through the roof, and we saw that that's exactly what he did. I think that he was impressive. I think that now he has to win the players over, have good communication skills with them, build a great team of assistants around him, and I think that he'll do just fine.
Well, it's no secret the players openly rebelled against Scott Skiles and Jim Boylan last season. Why is it going to be different with Vinny Del Negro? What does he have to do to impress these guys that he can lead them to victory?
I think, as we used to say back in the day and when I first started voting, a new frontier has arrived. A young man maybe can relate, a little more and a little better than the previous coaches. I think that is the key right there. But once again, talking and doing everything is one thing, but on the other end of this, I still like to see this team get a veteran that would have some type of respect and understanding on the court. I really think that's missing.
Kendall, you know how NBA players are. You got to earn their respect. They talked about Mike D'Antoni coming in. The players were all excited, up-tempo, racehorse style. Then Doug Collins, hey, he coached Jordan. We like him. What do you think the players are saying right now, the current Bulls players, about Vinny Del Negro, a guy who's never coached before?
Well, I can tell you right now they're questioning it because they've never heard of Vinny Del Negro. They know that he doesn't have any coaching experience. But what he has to do to win them over is, 1, communicate, 2, be prepared, and 3, just be himself. Like he said, he's just going to be himself, right. You know, be original and communicate with the players. I think that one of the things that I had a problem when I played for the Bulls with Scott Skiles is that he was not a good communicator. Nobody ever knew their roles. And last year, we sat here time after time and said that why isn't Tyrus playing this time? Why isn't this guy playing this time? And Ben Gordon used to come to the stadium and said, look, I don't know what's going to happen whenever I come to the stadium. I don't know whether I'm going to play 6 minutes or 30 minutes. So that's the one thing that you have to do. Bring each of these players in, define their roles from the start, and then you'll be okay.
That's going to wrap it up from here. Don't forget, we're going to re-air the entire news conference announcing Vinny Del Negro as the Bulls' next head coach. That comes up after the 10 o'clock sports night. We send it back over to Pat.
All right, Mark, gentlemen, coming up tomorrow on Land Rover Sports, Chris Bowden sits down with John Paxson to discuss the entire coaching search and why he went with a candidate who had no coaching experience.
People are going to feel what they want to feel. Jerry didn't tell me to go out and hire somebody that wasn't going to cost a lot of money. Like I said, at the end of the day, as I'd gone through all these things, and I went through it, I did start thinking a little, I guess, the term outside the box. I mean, you start looking at different ideas. And, the thing is, my first thought, honestly, when I sat down with Vinny the first time, I liked so much what I heard. But, my thoughts went to that. Well, he's never coached before.
Coming up after the break, we'll go back to Wrigley Field and have more reaction to Soriano's injury and Dan Plezak's analysis on Ryan Dempster's complete game. Keep it here on Sports Night.
Land Rover Sports Night is driven by Land Rover Illinois. Log on to LandRoverIllinois.com to locate your nearest Chicagoland retailer.
"75% of all the Land Rovers sold in this country are still on the road, despite the best efforts of our drivers. Make an appointment to put a Land Rover through its paces.
Since 1939, members of the Concrete Contractors Association of Greater Chicago have put quality craftsmanship and expertise into every job. The CCA employs skilled union tradesmen to ensure that every project meets exacting standards. Call 630-9904-CCA to locate a qualified CCA union contractor.
Playing for Peanuts, Sunday night at 7, only on Comcast.
Menards has a watering solution for every part of your yard. This gear-driven sprinkler head from Rainbird works with underground systems and has an adjustable spray pattern, only $7.88. A landscape drip kit irrigates precisely where you need it. This starter kit is only $14.99. Keep unwanted pests away with Triazicide for use in or around lawns, gardens, and flower beds. This hose end sprayer is ready to use. Kills on contact 180 pests above and below ground, just $8.99.
Save big money at Menards.
Guaranteed at Western Illinois University Quad Cities. Recognized as a best Midwestern college by the Princeton Review and a top-tier school by U.S. News & World Report, WIU's cost guarantee locks in the cost of tuition and fees. Your life, your future, your Western Illinois University Quad Cities.
The best time is anytime at Catfish Bend Casino. Jump on board the Burlington Express jackpot and win instant cash playing your favorite slot games. Win up to $3,000, $5,000, $7,500, or $10,000. Play any eligible slot, and you're playing for the Burlington Express jackpot. Everyone's on board, and anyone can win. For friends and fun, for good living, great dining, for bright nights and magic days.
The best time is any time at Catfish Bend Casino.
Blackhawks, Cubs, and White Sox. Comcast Sportsnet.
Friday night in Toronto. Oh, Soriano got hit up and in. Left hand to wrist area. You hope it hit muscle and not bone, but it didn't sound good. And he is down. Oh.
Len and Bob are right on it on Comcast Sportsnet earlier tonight. Our top story, Alfonso Soriano fractures a bone just below his ring finger on his left hand in the second inning in the Cubs' 7-2 victory over Atlanta, who wear a splint for 3 weeks, should miss a month and a half of action. Here's Soriano's teammates on the loss.
I wasn't here last year when they said Soriano came back in September and was just unbelievable. So, I mean, he's the type of guy that we've seen can just carry a team for a month at a time on his back. And hopefully that's the type of player we're going to get when he comes back. And I think he's going to be fine.
You never want to see anybody go down, you know, no matter who it is. But you know, we'll be fine. And you know, so I guess I said it earlier. Don't count on me to start hitting leadoff homers, though. but yeah, you know, I think we'll be fine. And wait for him to get back.
Soriano's injury overshadowed a tremendous pitching performance by Ryan Dempster tonight. Pitched a 4-hitter, struck out 11 in his first complete game since September 25th, 2002, when he was with the Reds, and he did it at Wrigley Field. He's now 8-0 at home this season, and our quirky left-hander Dan Plesac breaks down Dempster's performance tonight.
He didn't come into spring training expecting to have a job. He got to spring training, won himself a job, and right now his velocity is in the low to mid-90s at times. Outstanding split finger and slider, and he has a couple of different pitches that he can keep hitters off balance. Low 90s fastball, good split finger. He's got wipeout pitches for both left-handed hitters and right-handed hitters, and right now he and Carlos Zambrano have made a very formidable 1-2 punch for the Cubs.
All right, Dan, thanks a lot. And in case you hadn't heard, the sale of the Cubs in Wrigley Field is moving on to the next phase. Approved potential buyers will be receiving the team's financial information, and the bidding process won't be too far behind. I asked FoxSports.com senior baseball writer Ken Rosenthal if controversial Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban really has a serious chance.
I'd love to see it. I think the chances are slim, but not none. To me, Cuban is a guy that baseball has typically resisted over the years. An outsider, a maverick, someone who likes to shake things up. And this is not a sport or an organization that generally welcomes such people. It's a sport that likes to give its teams to insiders, to sell the teams to insiders. We've seen that with the Red Sox sale, the Nationals sale, and generally that is the way baseball likes it. John Canning is an insider. He's a guy that's been a friend of Bud Selig's, an associate of Bud Selig's. He's been a minority owner with the Brewers under Selig and now under their present ownership. He would stand to be the favorite. The way Cuban could really make noise here would be to outbid Canning and anyone else by a significant dollar figure. If that happens, then it's going to be difficult for baseball to say, we don't like you, Mark Cuban. If he's giving them the most money, they may like him a little bit better, though I still think it's an extreme long shot.
Thanks, Ken. That's going to be very interesting to watch that story develop. Taking a look at our Country Financial top performers, converted relief pitcher Braden Looper, much like Ryan Dempster. He pitched his first career shutout in the Cardinals' 10-0 rout of the Reds. The Mariners' Felix Hernandez pitched 8 innings, struck out 8 in the Mariners' win. And the Marlins' Jorge Cantu went 3 for 4, had 2 homers in a victory over the Phillies. Cardinals a big win tonight, and they did it without slugging first baseman Albert Pujols. He's expected to miss at least 3 weeks after straining his left calf trying to get out of the batter's box last night in Cincinnati. Pujols had missed time earlier in the season with a similar injury. Cardinals want to make sure he's 100% healed before returning to action. So the Cardinals lose Pujols one day before the Cubs lose Soriano. St. Louis also put starting pitcher Adam Wainwright on the DL because of a sprained finger.
And as great as the Cubs have been playing, their lead in the Central still just 2.5 games.
They cannot shake. The Cardinals have had nothing but injuries, but they keep on winning. Well, being a Major League hitting coach can oftentimes be a thankless job. You're given just a small piece of the glory when the hits keep coming, and a pretty big share of the blame when the bats cool off. For the Cubs' Gerald Perry, his life is best when the spotlight is very dim.
Yeah, Perry's no-nonsense approach to his own career is proven to be a successful formula with Cubs batters now. Len Casper has more with hitting coach Gerald Perry in part 3 of our series, The Team Behind the Team.
For the millions of eyes trained on every Cubs batter in the box, there is one man who is closely watching with vested interest, while hoping that a simple philosophy remains in the mind of each batter.
Staying inside the ball, getting on top of the ball, trying to get a good pitch to hit, and you attack it until it's not there.
Is that something you tell every hitter you've ever worked with, pretty much?
Pretty much. I mean, try to keep it as simple as possible. You know, I don't want to try and invent the game. I just want to, you know, try to have guys that have quality at bats and just take it one pitch at a time and try to work the count and get a good pitch to hit.
Gerald Perry was a staple in Major League lineups for 13 seasons. He's now in season 2 on the job as Cubs hitting coach. His experience on the field evolved to expertise on the bench. And after helping other teams establish postseason breakthroughs, Perry keeps the mindset of his lineup focused on the bigger picture in store.
I think, you know, 90% of the game is definitely mental. Where you, I mean, if you believe you're gonna go up there and tear the cover off the ball, good chance you're gonna have a quality at bat.
Going through your minor league career and then into the major leagues, do you feel like you accomplished everything you wanted to accomplish as a player?
No, not at all. You always look back and think, man, I could have, you know, I could have done better if I had done this, or if I had known this at an early age, I could, you know, could have done better. But you know, I really feel fortunate, you know, growing up in a small town, Hilton Head, South Carolina. My uncle Dan Dreesen had made it to the major league and when I was about 12, and I, you know, said I wanted to be like him. So I thank God that I was able to have a major league career and a major league coaching career.
Who influenced you the most as a hitter and as a major league player?
Well, no, of course my uncle did, as well as, you know, when I was in the minor league, I remember I had Luke Applin, the late Luke Applin, Hall of Famer, and I had Eddie Haas, that was very good. And no doubt about it, when I had Pops as my hitting coach in Atlanta, that was the ultimate. I learned so much from him. I mean, he was tremendous in every different phase. So I guess I would have to tip my hat and give him the #1 spot.
All right, we'll play true or false here. I read that you couldn't make a low A club your first year, and the next year you were the batting champ. Is that a true story?
Well, I didn't make the low A club out of spring training. I got sent to Stennis Spring and went there that season and led the league in hitting after a hot start in Stennis Spring.
You were a very good pinch hitter in your career, and most good pinch hitters are veterans. How difficult a job is that to do, and is it something that young players are really able to do, or do you have to be in the big leagues for several years before you really understand what it takes to sit on the bench for 3 hours and then come up with a big hit?
I think veteran players, you know, could handle the adjustment a lot better than the younger guys. For one, the younger players, they have to get used to not playing. And then, I mean, Darrell Ward, for instance, I mean, he's probably had 1 start all year, and he comes up and gives you quality at bats where you can't. I don't think you can expect as much from a younger player.
Kosuke Fukudome, what did you know about him when he came here? I'm sure you saw some videos, some scouting reports. And what have you had to work with on him, if anything?
Well, just basically just talking to him about, you know, and doing the drills and stuff when he's in the cage that he likes doing. I try to, you know, work my way. You know, a guy's been successful. I don't want to be changing anything with him. I want to do some of the things that help him, you know, to be successful, and talk to him about where pitch location, or you know, what, you know, about a different at bat or anything like that. But it hadn't been anything mechanical other than maybe spring training telling him you might want to move off of the plate some. Until you get your hands quick and that kind of stuff. But he's been pretty low maintenance.
And I know you've been ejected a few times. Is that important to you to show your guys that you're on their side?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You know, I'd rather have an umpire ticked off with me opposed to one of my hitters, or you know, I don't want any grudges hold against those guys. And if umpire, if I think it's something needs to be said, I want to be the guy that says it. You know, if Lou's not saying anything, I'd rather be the guy to say something other than, you know, having the player get kicked out of the game or something like that.
Name a player that you've coached that you said to yourself, wow, he looks like Gerald Perry to me. Anybody? Anybody with the hitting approach?